Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
Throwing strikes, being efficient with our pitches, making those routine plays, and having a great approach at the plate. So just keeping things simple and just building up that team chemistry as much as possible, I think, will help you win some games.
1-2. Swing and a miss as the Sodbusters strand the bases loaded to keep this a tie game.
This one is bounced back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. One run scores. Here comes Printer around third.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
To the left side and through for a base hit. The go-ahead run scores as Jensen delivers once again.
This one, the lightest of light hits. He gets an RBI single.
I think it's just a great experience, getting kids from all over the country to come in and play together.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
The opening homestand continues for the 2025 Hastings Sodbusters, but tonight they welcome a new opponent here to Duncan Field as the Sodbusters will look to stay perfect with their 3-0 record against a familiar foe in the past couple of years. The OAHE Zap come to town for the start of a 3-game series tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday evening. Sodbusters looking to get their 4th win in a row, and last time out on Sunday, getting their 3rd win by technically sweeping the Spearfish Sasquatch. Yesterday's game was rained out due to poor weather in the area, but we are looking forward to the Sodbusters keeping their winning ways up against a new opponent this evening. I'm Ryan Valenta. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening in Hastings. Steve Stein alongside with me, and our producers Noah and Connor also with us in the booth. We've got a fun-filled 9-inning game scheduled for you here at about 6:35 p.m. And coming up on our pregame show, we will have our latest Sodbusters Spotlights. Our good friend Steve Stein interviews one of our team good friends of Drew Vega, one of the returning guys from Arkansas Tech, who is absolutely tearing it up in the field and at the plate so far this season. He is our Sodbuster Spotlights. Again, if you haven't joined us before, we take a look at each of the players on the team throughout the season and dig up a little bit of information about them and get to know them a little bit better and how they got here to be spending their summer at historic Duncan Field. It's the first of a 3-game series. The Sodbusters close out their actual 6-game homestands now as they won all 3 games against Spearfish last week. Some exciting finishes in those 3 games, but they will look to win their 4th in a row. They've already won the 3 in a row to start the season for the first time in history. And why not add on against a team that went 1-2 in its opening season series against the Casper Spuds. First pitch in about 20 minutes here at Duncan Field. When we return, it's our Sodbuster Spotlight with Drew Vega.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
It's a Sodbuster Spotlight as we have an opportunity to hear from Drew Vega, back for his 2nd summer in Hastings. Talking about coming back for year number 2. Is that always going to be a possibility? Did you make that decision sometime during the year?
Yeah, it was a possibility. I had a lot of fun here last year and then didn't get much of an opportunity this year, so I was like, why not come back and play? I enjoyed it, and so far I've enjoyed it.
You mentioned the fact didn't get a whole lot of playing time in the spring. Talk about what you really want to focus on this summer to maybe earn that playing time for the Wonder Boys come next year.
I just want to get as many at-bats as I can and just work on my defense as well. Really just work on everything, honestly.
And you mentioned that the defensive aspect, great glove at second base. Is that your primary position, or do you like to play third, shortstop, other positions?
Yeah, I'd say second's my primary.
And talk a bit about the hitting aspect of it. I know more of a singles guy. Are you looking to pick up the power, or is this going to be your kind of offensive game plan in terms of being a singles man?
Right now, that's my game plan. Just trying to hit line drives and just whatever happens, happens.
As we talk, we're after game number 2. Talk a bit about the chemistry that you're developing with your new shortstop in the Hastings Sodbuster lineup.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool. I mean, he's pretty funny. We talked the whole game, so I've enjoyed it. I like him over there.
Is that one of the more difficult things, when you're playing middle infield, don't exactly know how they're going to play, to kind of learn how the fellow infielders play?
Yeah, I think so. You kind of want to know everybody, have a little chemistry with everybody. Helps out, I think.
A lot of newcomers this year. How much leadership role do you take on this year's team, since you kind of know what Hastings Sodbuster baseball is all about?
Just kind of fill them in if they have any questions. Just do whatever, I guess.
There's a little bit of science to playing at Duncan Field. You don't want to swing for the fences here. Talk about a hitting approach here at Duncan.
Yeah, here at Duncan, you definitely have to try and hit those low line drives, because anything in the air just dies. Nothing gets very deep out there.
We're talking with Drew Vega. He is a regular for this Hastings Sodbuster team. Refresh us on home, as you're an Arkansas guy. Tell us a bit about your hometown.
Smaller than this one. Probably not as cold right now here.
Now, you're a multi-sport standout at Dardanelle. Talk a little bit about the opportunity coming out of high school. Was it always going to be baseball for you?
Yeah, I thought it was always going to be baseball. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I stuck with.
Arkansas Tech, tell us a bit about the spring for the team, for the Wonder Boys this year.
I started off a little rough, and then towards the end, kind of halfway through, we started to pick it up and did pretty good. Made it to a regional. Got a win there, but it wasn't too bad.
How cool is it to spend some time with some of the Wonder Boys here at Hastings, to have some of your college teammates come with you?
I enjoy it. Makes it a little easier to get to know everybody, I think, and just grow as a teammate with them.
Your second year at Hastings, the fact that you had some fun last year, what makes the Sodbuster experience special for you?
Everybody's just out here trying to play and have fun, I think, and that's what I enjoy about it.
Is there a different mentality summer ball compared to the spring?
I'd say so. I think in the spring, everybody's probably a little more tight, not as relaxed as in the summer, I think.
Haven't had your first road trip. Is that something special, too, to build chemistry when you're going on the road and playing 6 or 7 games?
For sure. You got to be with those guys on the bus forever, in the hotels. You get to know those guys.
Talk about your academics at Arkansas Tech. What are you studying?
I'm studying health and exercise science.
What's the long-term plan for that?
Maybe own a business as like a athletic trainer, personal trainer type thing.
You want to keep the baseball thing going on as long as you can?
Yeah, definitely. I want to play as long as I can.
What about the opportunity to come back next year? I think you got some eligibility left. You want to be a Sodbuster again next summer?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Year 2, talk about your host family and how they've helped you out.
I'm staying with the Nelsons again. Stayed with them last year. I really enjoyed it. She called me and asked if I was coming back, and I was like, yeah, I believe so. And I was like, well, I've got a room for you. And I was like, sweet.
Drew Vega, he's one of the leaders for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's our Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Steve Stein.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Game number 4 of this 2025 season for your Hastings Sodbusters. Still got about 15 minutes to go before the first pitch here at Duncan Field, but the OAHE Zap making the trip to town from the town of the South Dakota capital of Pierre, South Dakota's 9th most populous city. I was telling everybody here that probably one of the most stats that you didn't need to know that I'm going to tell you anyway. South Dakota's capital, the 9th most populous city in the country, or in that state. Pierre is the home of the OAHE Zap, formerly known as the Pierre Trappers. But here in the new Independence League, the Zap making their 3rd appearance as a summer program and looking to get back on their horse after they were defeated by Casper, the defending Independence League champions, in 3 games over the weekend. Again, Hastings getting rained out yesterday, their final game of Spearfish. That game will not be made up at Duncan Field. It will instead hopefully be made up as a doubleheader during some day, maybe when the Sodbusters are in Casper for a series, that they might be able to make those up, but that is canceled with a rescheduling date to be determined. The OAHE Zap come into today's game with the 1-2 record. Last year in the Independence League, a 15-37 mark of the 4 teams that played everyday baseball of the Independence League. They were dead last in league standings with a 15-37 record. The Sodbusters with nothing but success against OAHE last year. They were 10-0, a perfect 10-0 against the Zap. And in those 10 games, they outscored OAHE 83-34. The Zap mostly saw Hastings in Pierre, 8 games there and only 2 home games last year. And lots of guys had offensive success against the Zap that are back this year. And Hastings, like we've been talking about all season, they've had all their success last year right here at Duncan Field, which they've had nothing but so far. 3-game win streak, first time in program history. The Sodbusters starting 3-0. They will look to make it 4-0 this evening. Steve Stein, we got a lot to talk about over our first game series. Lots of numbers, lots of guys, lots of things that impressed us, and also made our stomachs churn and hearts palpitate a little bit in that 3-game series. Pitching was mostly very good. The hitting was timely as well, but there were some marks where things got a little bit dicey, but they got it done. In your opinion, Steve, what did you like most about the first 3 games of the series for the guys?
Resilience. You're going to win games in a lot of different ways. You're going to lose games in a lot of different ways, assuming they lose sometime. But there's going to be games where the bats just aren't there. There's going to be days when the pitchers struggle, and you see that game where they battle back and win 7-6 despite only having 4 hits. Next day, come out, pound out 16 hits, and kind of hang on for dear life. And it gave you the freedom to try some guys that are maybe more bottom of the order in your pitching rotation to try to let them figure it out. In a different kind of game, you probably have a lot less patience. So it turned into a kind of an ugly contest. But the bottom line, you're 3-0 with 3 victories in 3 kind of drastically different ways. And you'd take a 4th different win today against a team that's probably a little bit better than they were a year ago, OAHE. And you don't know what Casper's got, but Casper was so dominant against pretty much everybody they played, and it was kind of an eye-opening score when OAHE won 15-8 in that season opener in Casper, and probably should have won the second game. Casper only had 2 hits in beating OAHE in the first game of the doubleheader on Sunday, 2-1, and then won the second game 7-3. So this OAHE team very easily could come in at 2-1 against with wins over the defending conference champs. It's a very experienced coach. Jamie Habiger, 3rd year there. He's been around the block a while. They've got more returning players than this Hastings Sodbuster team did. Looks like their pitching staff, I mean, nobody threw more than once in that 3-game series, so they should be ready to go with their off day yesterday, so they should be full go pitching-wise, and Hastings going to be starting a guy for the first time, so I looked for a really competitive game today.
Absolutely, and lots to consider in those, like Steve said, in those 3 games. Very close, those 2 OAHE losses, but last year a unfortunate and forgettable season for them. They had the worst run differential in the league at -177 on the road. They only boasted a 4-15 record. Only 4 of their 15 wins came away from their home field in Pierre. But to recap the Sodbusters' first 3 games, like Steve mentioned, very different fashion. Game 1, 5-1 win over Spearfish on Friday. Adams Central alum and Hastings native Creighton Jacobitz tossing 7 no-hit innings to shut down the Sasquatch offense. Day 2, the cold and wet game as well, where that one was a 7-6 final. Sodbusters were down 4-0 early. The rain started coming down. They took a 5-4 lead, lost the lead by 1 run in the 9th before walking it off. Despite only tallying 4 hits while Spearfish had 11, Tyler Welsh was the walk-off hero. He'll be one of our upcoming Sodbuster spotlights as well. And then the Sunday game, the 12-9 slugfest for Hastings, 16 hits. Spearfish only had 5 hits, but lots of walks throughout the day in the last part of that game. that's one thing that has plagued Hastings in the past few seasons, has been the walks, but that small sample size for that game where they walked 13 batters but still managed to get the 12-9 win in that ball game. So, looking for win number 4 in a row today. OAHE trying to get win number 2. Told you about that. They were 10-0 so far, and looking to break that streak. OAHE, as you can see on the field there, their powder blue uniform is one of the more interesting colors in the Independence League. I'm a big fan of them. Powder blues with yellow hats and some black and yellow mixed in helmets. But it's certainly one of the better uniform combos here. Sodbusters will finish out their series against OAHE this week before they will go on the road for the first. Well, they will actually have 3 days off over the weekend, Friday through Sunday. They will finish up with one final game against Fremont on Monday right here at Duncan Field before they will go visit the Moo on Tuesday. And then next week, just one other game. The Nebraska Prospects come to town for just one game on Thursday. So 7 games in a row. The one road game, and then back here for one. OAHE will be on the road after this as well. OAHE will play Hastings a couple more times, but this will be the only series between Hastings and OAHE at Duncan Field. Let's go over to today's starting lineups now for both sides. First, the visitors that will come to bat in the top of the first inning. For OAHE, Gavin Frazier set to lead things off and play second base. Andrew Phillips will bat second and play center field. Quinn Ludvigsen will bat third and play first base. Jake Daly, the designated hitter, in the 4 spot. Ty Farwell, the third baseman, batting fifth. Noah Kodina, the 6th place hitter and is the catcher. Connor Goldberg will bat 7th and play right field. Naruto Sato will bat 8th and play shortstop. And then Emiliano Montillo will bat 9th and play left field. Austin Aracha will get the start on the bump for OAHE today. And now for Hastings, it's Drew Vega to lead things off and play center field. Jaden Shabry will lead in the 2nd spot and play shortstop. Ryan Jarvis is the 3rd place hitter and the designated hitter today. Weston Johnston is the cleanup hitter and is the catcher today. Luke Causey, the right fielder, will bat 5th. Brock Cross plays 3rd and bats 6th. Jude Greaves bats 7th and plays first base. Jet Hannaford will bat 8th and play left field. And Chase Miller will bat 9th and play second base. Marcus Miller, the Hastings native and Hastings High graduate, plays his college baseball right here at Hastings College, will be the starter for the first time today. On your screen, both head coaches for each side. Josh Printer, former 2-year player for the Sodbusters last year, named the skipper of the squad this year. And Jamie Habiger on the right, his 3rd year with the OAHE Zap and his 5th year as a head coach in Pierre. He's also part owner of the OAHE Zap team. Umpires today on your screen as well. It is Braxton Arndt, the home plate umpire, and Jason Seitz is today's field umpire. Well, Steve, I think the important stat for the day for Hastings is walks. Marcus Miller knows how to pitch on this field. If he can mix in that slow curveball and that mix in the fastball as well here, the Sodbusters should have a pretty good day.
And if a past history is any indication, it's been really good starts for this Sodbuster team over the first 3 games of the year, and I know it really bogged down in the last outing, but you kind of forget about the fact that Ethan Marshall, with the first 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, only 1 of them earned, a really quality start in the last outing on Sunday. And Marcus Miller, you pretty much know what you're going to get. You may hit 80 miles an hour, you may not, but get 6 innings out of him. He's going to pitch to contact and generally doesn't walk a lot. And Marcus Miller had a really good spring for a team that struggled mightily. So Miller, he has been involved in a lot of, how should we say, adversity, because the Hastings College team really struggled, just 9 wins, and Marcus was certainly a bright spot for that Hastings College team in the spring, winning 6 of those games on the mound for the Hastings College Broncos.
That'll be under new leadership this year. That is going to be former play-by-play guy for the Los Angeles Angels, Victor Rojas, named the 3rd head coach for Hastings College in the past couple of years. Their former coach did not make it through his first year as a coach. Inside sources say there wasn't some great team chemistry with him and the coach, so they were decided to move on midway through the first year of the program. But yeah, Victor Rojas, a guy who most known as the Los Angeles Angels TV guy from 2010 to 2020, still does the occasional college baseball game on TV, but mainly was the head coach at Ottawa University in Arizona, and he will now be the new head coach at Hastings College next year. From covering high school baseball in the spring, one of the Adams Central kids was committed there, and he's actually going to be staying home to play for Hastings College. The Hastings Sodbusters, of the 4 teams that have played in the Independence League, will look to remain the only undefeated team so far in the league. Casper 2-1, OAHE 1-2, and Spearfish 0-3. The Nebraska Prospects and the Fremont Moo, also in the Independence League, will open their 2025 seasons tonight. Fremont is in Spearfish for a series with the Sasquatch, and then Casper is hosting the Nebraska Prospects. Once again for Hastings, their starting lineup for the final time from top to bottom, it's Vega, Shabry, Jarvis, Johnston, Cossey, Cross, Greaves, Hannaford, and Miller, with Marcus Miller starting on the mound today. For OAHE, it's Frazier, Phillips, Ludvigsen, Daly, Farwell, Codina, Goldberg, Sato, and Montillo as well. For the umpires, Braxton Arndt and Jason Seitz.
This pitching matchup got a couple of NAIA guys. We talked about Marcus Miller, Austin Aracha out of Bethany College. He's from Shawnee, Kansas. Went to Allen County down in Kansas before taking his skills to Bethany, home of the Swedes. And he had a fairly calm spring, only had 6 appearances. He pitched in 5 1/3 innings, an 18.56 ERA with no record, did strike out 6. So another one of those guys, kind of a typical Independence League guy that's coming here looking to get some innings, looking to work out some stuff. And so maybe an opportunity for this Hastings squad to jump on OAHE a little bit, a team which comes into this game with a team ERA of 4.67, but like I say, look up and down, nobody's pitched more than once. Looks like maybe they have a little more depth in their pitching staff this year, and there's only a couple of guys who really got roughed up against a Casper team which could really swing it a year ago. So expect a pretty good brand of baseball here today as Hastings and OAHE get set to go.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Getting to the bullpen and getting into those opposing pitchers as well. Yeah, no OAHE pitcher has pitched more than once in 3 games this season. The Sodbusters had to face 3 pitchers in 2 of their games against Spearfish over the weekend, and then one of the games they ended up facing 5 different Spearfish arms. Sodbusters' offense has been hot early and often in each game so far. They know how to score runs this year, and a offense that's pretty much is picking up where it left off last season. We'll look to do the same against OAHE, a team that they have had nothing but success in the past calendar year. The first of 3 games in this series will start off with our national anthem at home plates ahead of tonight's contest.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem ahead of tonight's series opener Sodbusters and Zap. Same time tomorrow night and Thursday night. Got plenty of opportunities to come out and see the Sodbusters at Duncan Field this year. For Hastings on the mound, it is Marcus Miller, a Hastings homestay who has done pretty much nothing but pitch on this field since his freshman year of high school here at Hastings High. The starter last year was very good for Hastings in his appearances for the Sodbusters. Had a bit of an uptick in strikeouts or a downtick in strikeouts, beg your pardon, from last year to his first year. Last year, Marcus with the Sodbusters, 11 appearances, had a 6-3 record, 57 and a third innings pitched, a 5.18 ERA with 16 walks and 36 strikeouts. Correction, those are his Hastings College spring numbers, not his Sodbuster numbers. With the Broncos had 6 wins with Hastings College this spring, but the mark that I saw for him most notably, 36 strikeouts this spring, which were down from 58 strikeouts the spring before. Like we mentioned, he's a guy that's not going to blow you away with his fastball by any means, but that slower than slow, that 12-6 curveball is his feature pitch that seemingly falls off the table, and you just got to figure year by year his pitch selection and pitch arsenal gets stronger and stronger, and should have some success if he can locate his pitches to the best of his ability this evening.
And a guy who has been kind of a rubber arm. I mean, he's thrown over 90 innings for Hastings, the Sodbusters, the last 2 summers combined. To go along with all of those innings he throws in the spring just doesn't seem to faze him. Once every 5 days, he can come out there and give you about 80, 90, 100 pitches, hopefully 6 innings, and that's what Hastings is looking for today, and put themselves in a position to go 4-0.
Marcus Miller, third in innings pitched for the Sodbusters last year. 38 and a third innings, had a 1-1 record. Gave up 23 runs, walked 7, but struck out 30 to the tune of a 4.46 ERA. He did not pitch in any of the 10 games that Hastings played against OAHE last year. First pitch on the way, called a strike right at the top of the zone. 6:37 p.m. local time. Probably one of the better weather days we've had in the first 4 games, as the past 2 games were cold and either rainy. The first night was pretty decent, a little bit cold, but no rain. Still no sunshine. We've yet to see that since the second game of the season, but the temperature feels like 59 degrees out here. The wind very slightly blowing at 5 miles per hour in the outfield. Well, after 2 quick strikes, it's ball 1 to Gavin Frazier. Gavin Frazier for OAHE from Pikeville University. He's got the second most hits so far early in 3 games, 3 for 6 so far in his OAHE Zap season debut, 3 for 6 with a double and RBI. He's also been walked 4 times. Frazier, the second baseman today for OAHE, puts it out of play down the right field side. Marcus Miller's first start today, and hopefully many more. One of the few guys returning for his 3rd season as a Sodbuster. Looking on this year's list, the only other guy to return for his 3rd year is Tyler Welsh. Curveball popped into shallow right. Going back is Chase Miller, the second baseman, and he's able to make the catch for the first out of the ball game. Always important to get the first out. Marcus Miller does so with some weak contact to lead off the game. Andrew Phillips is the next OAHE batter, one of the Division I guys. South Dakota State University takes a swing and a miss at strike 1. Andrew Phillips, the center fielder today. Phillips in 3 games so far, 2 for 6, a pair of runs driven in. Also been plunked by a couple of pitches. Another big swing and a miss sends Phillips down to a knee quickly. 0-2. Looking good so far. Phillips redshirted for the Jackrabbits in his 2024 season and did not see much playing time, and he's down on 3 pitches. All of them curveballs right there. Phillips way out in front of all of them. A first strikeout of the day for Marcus Miller.
Phillips very easily could have been a sodbuster. There was talks with him before last season. I had all those South Dakota State guys, but they were looking for more pitching at the time. And so before we pulled the trigger on him, he decided to go to OAHE, and now in his second year with the Zap.
Heartland, Minnesota native, so maybe just a little bit closer to home. There's another curveball, nasty stuff so far from Marcus Miller. Quinn Ludvigsen takes a big cut and miss at pitch number 1. Ludvigsen, another guy from up north, attends college at Mankato State University in Minnesota. He is a Maverick and just finished up his freshman season. It's a 1-1 count to him. Ball 2 outside. Ludvigsen did not play for Mankato State this spring. In 3 games, 2 for 7, but has 3 runs driven in. Miller trying to send him back to the dugout as he's done with the previous 2. Good breaking ball again there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases empty for the Sodbusters. Defense here in the top of the first. Down on strikes. Marcus Miller setting the tone early. 2 strikeouts and a pop-out. Part of a 1-2-3. Top of the first inning. Hastings will look to once again strike first in this ball game in the bottom of the first. Duncan Field when we return on.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Nothing doing for OAHE here in the top of the first inning. And the Sodbusters will send their top of the lineup against their opposition on the mound. It's Austin Aracha, the sophomore, standing at 5'8" from Shawnee, Kansas. Played in the spring, like Steve mentioned, for Bethany College, the Swedes. No record in 6 appearances, 5 1/3, and an 18.56 ERA. Did give up a total of 11 earned runs, walked 6, struck out 6. Again, so many guys in the summer leagues and whatever leagues they may be. Guys that probably didn't get a lot of playing time at their spring college and are just looking to get some more innings here. That is what Aracha will try to do against the Sodbusters. Aracha so far this year did appear in 1 appearance in relief. Through an inning, did not allow a run. Allowed just 1 hit, did not walk any, and did not strike out any. But he is tasked with facing Drew Vega, hottest hitter for the Sodbusters to open up the season. And the first pitch to him whacked foul down the left field line. Drew Vega, today's Sodbuster spotlight, just fresh off of his 4-hit game against Spearfish on Sunday. 7 for 13 to start off the season with already 5 RBIs. Get a scope of it. He had 15 runs driven in all of last year. He's already a third of the way to that mark. Quickly, 0-2 on Drew Vega. Just finishing up his sophomore year at Arkansas Tech. Didn't see a whole lot of playing time for the Wonder Boys, but Coach, if you're watching this, get Vega in next season. He is a guy that has lots of success in Hastings. Pitch kind of a sidearm delivery. That's what Aracha is featuring on the mound. Just misses a little bit in and maybe down. But Vega still behind in the count, 1-2 in the bottom of the first with no score. Pitch outside for ball 2. Interesting sidearm delivery by Aracha. See how that helps him or does not help him throughout the game. Sodbusters have a couple of sidearm / submarine guys of their own. 2-2, how to play again. Look at the defense behind Aracha today from left field to right field. It's Emiliano Montillo, Andrew Phillips, and Connor Goldberg from left to right field. Then it's Ty Farwell, Naruto Sato, Gavin Frazier, and Quinn Ludvigsen from third to first. Noah Codina is the catcher for OAHE. 2-2. Got him swinging. Ball's dropped by the catcher. They have to throw it down to first to complete the strikeouts. Just the second time that Drew struck out this year, and a pretty good off-speed pitch from Austin Aracha.
Both pitchers sharp in the early going. Good pitch selection for Aracha as he worked inside, worked outside, and we have seen so many sidearm / submariners over the first 4 games for both the Sodbusters and opponents.
Look at the numbers for OAHE so far this season on the pitching mound. A 4.67 ERA. Teams are hitting .272 against them. Jaden Shabry, the second place hitter, fouls one out of play. Again, the first game for OAHE was a regular game against Casper where they absolutely thrashed them 15-8. And the two teams could not play Saturday, ended up playing a 7-inning doubleheader on Sunday. Slow chopper to third. This is Ty Farwell. Long throw to first and in time to retire Jaden Shabry. 5-3 on the ground out, 2 up and 2 down in the bottom of the first inning.
Good play for Farwell. Had to get rid of it. Shabry can run a little bit, so 5 up, 5 down for the two teams.
Ryan Jarvis, another one of the guys returning for his second year with the Sodbusters. Steve and I got a chance to catch up with Mom and Dad after the final game on Sunday. And great people. They're big fans of the broadcast. We appreciate them. And, of course, all of you at home tuning in as well. Jarvis, 0-1 counts. He's also had a nice opening series at the plate. 3 for 11. Had a 1 hit in each of the 3 games. Low and in. That is ball 1, according to home plate umpire Braxton Arndt. Bases empty and 2 outs. Both pitchers trying for 1, 2, 3 innings in game 1 of this 3-game series. Last year, Jarvis, a guy that was tied for the team lead in hits on the squad, just a bit early on that pitch and sends it towards the concession stands down the right field line. Ryan Jarvis has also been featured on one of our Sodbuster spotlights. You can find those on Spotify. Search up Sodcast, S-O-D-C-A-S-T, all one word. 1-2 delivery from Aracha. Downstairs, good take by Jarvis. That one did miss by much. Sodbusters as an offensive unit in their first 3 games, hitting .306. 30 hits, so averaging 10 hits per game. However, still looking for their first double of the year. They've had 2 triples, but no 2-baggers yet in their first 3 games. Well, Aracha's worked the count full to Jarvis now. Trying to be the first base runner of the game. Sparse crowd at Duncan Field on this Tuesday evening. No weather in the area, but a bit chilly. Fouled off down the first base line towards the first base coach, Corey Caranda, in there for his first time. He was missed the first game, and then after the Sodbusters won the first game, they told him that, well, we're winning without you on the field, so you hang out in the dugouts until we lose. But Scott Galusha, the GM and co-owner, said, you know what, I better let Corey coach this game. This time in play, to first, flip to the pitcher, covering Aracha, does find the bag and keeps his footing. And that's a 3rd out of the inning. Both teams go 3 up and 3 down in the first inning. No scores. We head to the top of the second between OAHE and Hastings at Duncan Field.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Quick moving game after the first inning. Knock on wood not to jinx anything quite yet, but both pitchers setting down the side, 1-2-3 in the first inning. Marcus Miller did so against the OAHE lineup with a pop-out and 2 strikeouts. Again, we told you a guy who just struck out 36 guys in 57 innings in the spring. He's already averaging a 2-to-1 rate in this one. 14 pitches, 10 strikes for Marcus in the first inning. And one of the local guys getting an opportunity to continue his playing career at Duncan Field. Cool line for Marcus, one of the few guys to accomplish one of the most rare feats in baseball in his senior year towards the end of the season in 2022. He pitched a 5-inning perfect game right here on this mound against Fairbury. 5 innings of 15 up and 15 down. One of his final few games of his high school career. Chopped foul behind the plate by Jake Daly, the OAHE leadoff hitter. The designated hitter today, wearing number 14. Has the most hits on this OAHE squad so far in this young season. In 3 games, 4 hits, and 3 of them have gone for doubles. Sprayed out of play to quickly make it 0-2. Jake Daly, a guy that plays his college baseball at St. Peter's University. 0-2, lofted in the air to foul territory. Going over is Jude Greaves near the fence, and it drops for a foul ball. Looks like he had enough space, but was not able to make the play. Take a look at the defense for Hastings today in this first series. From left to right field, it's Jet Hannaford, Drew Vega, and Luke Cossey. From third to first, Brock Cross, Jaden Shabry, Chase Miller, and Jude Greaves. The catcher today, Weston Johnston. The 0-2 delivery, just a bit outside. Looked like Miller went with something soft away. A opposite-handed pitcher against a opposite batter. Changeup, probably one of the best pitches a pitcher can throw there. That might have been it. Miller still ahead. Lazy pop-up into shallow outfield. This could be trouble. Vega is able to get there to make the catch. With a full head of steam and lunging ahead, Drew Vega runs that fly ball down for the first out of the second inning.
He's got some nice instincts, normally an infielder, but they are putting him in the outfield. That could be his future at Arkansas Tech, so a great chance for him to work on that here in the summer, and he's looked pretty good for his first game plus out in the outfield.
Well, now it's the left-handed batter, Ty Farwell. He shoots the gap into right center. That's going to roll for a while. Extra bases coming for Farwell. Cossey digs it out and gets it back in. A one-out double for Ty Farwell as the first base runner for either side in this game, and just Ty's second hit of this summer season.
Now 2 for 8, his first extra base hit for the Zap.
Next up for the Zap, catcher number 7.
So that is a runner in scoring position. Again, with Miller's soft arm, we've got early numbers on him. We've got Flight Scope up and running for the first time, and our data tells us that was 94 miles an hour off the bat of Farwell. Nicholas Cadena watches strike one, or Noah Cadena, beg your pardon, watches strike one go by. The catcher for the Zap today has only played in 1 game, but is 0 for 5 in that 1 game, but has driven in a couple of runs. He would need a hit here to drive in one. That's just foul down the first base line. And it's 0-2. Miller doing a good job of punching the zone. Early numbers for him for velocity, about 78 to 80 on his fastball with a curveball in the high 60s. So about the same velocity he was at last year. We saw him sit in the high 70s and occasionally in the low 80s on the fastball. Gets a swing and the miss. Ball gets away. They'll have to throw to first on the outside. Their out is recorded, but on the wild pitch, that does allow Farwell to take third base. Now 2 outs in the top of the second inning for the Zap offense.
Good decision for Weston Johnston. He did look to third momentarily, and if they can get the out at first, still have a chance to get out of this with no damage done.
Well, now it's the 7th spot in the lineup for the OAHE Zap, and it is today's beer batter. If you're just joining in, beer batter, if the beer batter strikes out, then discounted adult beverages at Duncan Field for the immediate time afterwards. Connor Goldberg, today's right fielder, Cerro Coso Community College. Only one game for him this summer, and he is 0 for 2 and does have 1 strikeout. Pitch down and in. Connor Goldberg trying to get home the game's first run. Henderson, Nevada native. The guy who's yet to see time with Cerro Coso, but that is where he is attending college at. 1-1, wave and a miss. Fans are 1 out away here from getting what they want from the beer batter. Beer batter is 2 for 3 this year in the early season games for offering at least 1 strikeout. That one where he didn't was last game. Just got a piece of it on the fastball, back to the screen. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ty Farwell with his 1-out double, taking third on the wild pitch. That's where he stands. It's only appropriate when Miller is on the mound to get the beer batter strikeout to make it Miller time. The 1-2 pitch, Miller will step off and get a new sign from his catcher, Weston Johnston.
And if you think he's joking, Miller is the beer of choice tonight.
It always is when Marcus is on the mounds. The 1-2 popped in the air out of play, and we will keep the same count. If I was a player on the field, if that was in play, I'd purposely drop it and say, all right, Marcus, strike him out on the next pitch. If he gets a hit, it's on me. I'll do the push-ups for you after the game. Miller set on the bump with the 1-2 in the top of the second. Still no score. Until the right fielder can't make the play. It's going to roll almost all the way to the wall. The run is in to score. Goldberg around second. He will stop there. A 2-strike, 2-out double for Connor Goldberg. And he gives OAHE the 1-0 lead in the second inning, just out of the reach of Luke Cossey out in right field.
So they thought he had an opportunity, very deep ballpark, and 2 doubles in the inning give OAHE the early lead.
So for OAHE, 2 extra base hits. They came into today's game with just 4 doubles. They are halfway to matching that mark already, and another hard hit ball there. That one 95 off the bat. Jam shot to the left side. Brock Cross at third base fires over to retire Naruto Sato on the first pitch, as OAHE will send up 5 to the plate in the top of the second inning, and they score 1 of them on a pair of doubles. The Zap with the 1-0 lead. Hastings looks to change that in the bottom of the second. You're watching Sodbuster Baseball. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein, back in a moment.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
The OAHE Zap take an early 1-0 lead in top of the second inning of this scheduled 9-inning contest. Looks a little bit overcast in the sky because it has been that way since last Friday. Fortunately, no rain is scheduled to happen in the area. Start at the bottom of the second inning, a brisk 58 degrees at the ballpark. Weston Johnston will lead things off, followed by Luke Cossey and Brock Cross. Austin Aracha set down the side 1-2-3 in the first inning, and Johnson will take ball one inside. Johnston showing some offensive success so far in the season. 3 for 10 at the plates, an even 300 average. Same pitch and same result on the breaking ball inside. Johnston has also driven in 3 runs. Last out is the left fielder on Sunday. Had a 2 RBI single in the first inning, but then struck out 3 times after that. Weston Johnston will take strike one at the top of the zone. From Van Alstyne, Texas, one of the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys, just finishing up his freshman year. Pitch from Austin Aracha. Big swing, no contact. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aracha was pretty efficient in the first inning. Emphatically shakes his head yes on the second sign he sees from his catcher, Codina. But it's not to be. That pitch well outside to make the count run full, 3-2. Aracha deciding on the sign. Breaking ball nubbed in front of the plates. Tough play for everybody as the catcher throws a lawn dart and it's bobbled at first base. Safe is Johnston. Interesting play developing there. Codina and Aracha couldn't decide who was going to get it. And Codina spiked his throw into the turf. We'll have to see how they score that there. But nonetheless, it's a leadoff base hit and the first base runner for Hastings.
Good hustle down for Weston Johnston to make him have to hurry, and Codina's throw really made it difficult on Ludvigsen.
Quinn Ludvigsen, the guy not able to dig it out at first base. I don't blame him there. You're expecting that throw to come right at your chest, hopefully, and got to scoop that off the turf, which can take some unexpected bounces. So runner at first base with nobody outs. Ball one is outside to Luke Cossey. I'm going to say that's an error on the first baseman. I don't agree with that. Should be an error on the catcher there for the poor throw. And Luke Cossey will try and move Johnston over to second base. Pitch from Aracha. Well outside again, quickly 2-0.
In fact, I was going to give Ludvigsen great credit. Otherwise, you may have had a runner at second or perhaps third if he doesn't stop that. As hard as that was thrown, if that takes a hop by him, that's going to roll for a long way.
Well, think about it. If it goes to a third baseman or a shortstop and they bounce the throw, you give an error to them and not the first baseman who couldn't pick it. Shouldn't be anything different there. But Luke Cossey way ahead in the counts. 3 balls and no strikes. White House, Texas native. Guy who can play multiple positions. We'll take strike one in the outside corner. Cossey mainly used as a right fielder in the early returns. So far, .385 average for him. 5 hits for him as a Sodbuster, second best on the team. He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Cossey, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Cossey. The Sodbusters grab the lead bat and lead it 2-1.
Neat moment. At this ballpark, you don't know how special that is unless you're in the region. To smack one out of here is something you can put in your scrapbook for a lifetime.
Luke Cossey will be part of the short list, and very short list, of people who have been able to send it out over the spacious walls at Duncan Field on the fly. Special moment for Luke Cossey here in this bottom of the second inning. And the first hit for the Sodbusters gives them the 2-1 lead. 103 miles an hour off the bat of Luke Cossey on that last pitch. Well, now Brock Cross will try and keep things going. The momentum in the favor of Hastings. A 1-ball, 1-strike count to him after the swing and miss. Cross appearing in just one game in the opening homestand, or correction, 2 games the opening homestand. He sends one into left center field gap. That drops for a base hit. Cross will round first and hold with a single when there's still nobody out, as 3 straight have reached in this second inning against Aracha.
Similar to what happened against Spearfish. When Spearfish got there early, too, the Sodbusters came right back, and every time the opponent answered, Hastings had an answer, and you love that in the early returns of the first 4 games for this Hastings Sodbuster team.
Another well-struck baseball, 97 miles an hour off the bat of Brock Cross, who has his first hit as a Sodbuster this summer. Foul ball in the first swing. It's Jude Greaves, the first baseman today. We've also seen him as the catcher for Hastings in the first couple of games. Jude Greaves from Oak Grove, Missouri. Just finished up his freshman year at Metropolitan Community College. He's looking for his first hit as a Sodbuster. But he has been either a guy with a great eye at the plate. He's either struck out or he's been plunked. His mark, 0 for 4, 3 walks, and 3 hit by pitches, and 3 strikeouts. So he's only put the ball in play 1 time in over 10 plate appearances. And he's down on the count 0-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball outside. 3 pitches, and Aracha has his second strikeout of the day. Jet Hannaford, the 8-spot hitter for the Sodbusters, today's left fielder. That's with what is finally the first out of the inning, and Cross remaining at first base. Jed Hannaford, one of the guys very familiar with head coach Josh Printer. He is from Mountain Home, Arkansas, and also where he plays his college baseball at Arkansas State Mountain Home. Finished up his junior year there, and following his head coach here to Hastings. 2 games for him so far, 1 for 4. 1 ball, no strike counts. Cut and a miss at the fastball that appeared to be outside of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. OAHE getting a run in the top of the second inning. The Sodbusters with a 2-run blast from Luke Cossey just a couple batters ago. Jet Hannaford with the 1-1. Ground ball to third. Farwell to second for 1. Over onto first is not in time. Hannaford beats out the potential double play by the skin of his teeth. It's a force out, and 2 outs now in the second inning.
Hannaford having to bust it. Nice job, Farwell, and a good turn there for Frazier to give themselves a chance to get that double play and see if the Sodbusters can get something going with 2 outs.
For the Sodbusters, it'll be their 9th place hitter, Chase Miller, today's second baseman. Haracha the set, and right down Broadway for strike 1. Chase Miller, a Walkerton, Indiana native, one of the Saginaw Valley State guys, teammates with Ryan Jarvis. Just finished up his freshman year with the Cardinals team. Cross remaining at first after his single. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Sodbusters so far in their 3 games, they've stolen 11 bases, but have not done so yet this evening. Brock Cross at first base, yet to steal one. 1-1 from Aracha. Strike 2 on the swing and a miss from Chase Miller. Racha looking for the final out for no more damage done in this bottom of the second inning. Hannaford runs, and it's fouled off there. Correction, it's Jet Hannaford at first base and not Cross. He was forced out, and Hannaford traded places with him. Hannaford, on the other end, a guy who has a stolen base this year and was just trying to swipe second there.
It's one of the things early about it. This Hastings Sodbuster team, 11 stolen bases in their first 3 games. OAHE just 1.
The 1-2 pitch, runner does not go this time. A chopper right back to the pitcher. Oracha underhand flip to first in time. The Sodbusters will go for the 2 runs in the bottom of the second inning. The first blast at Duncan Field in a very long time, thanks to the left-handed bat of Luke Cossey. No cheap shot either, never a cheap shot here at Duncan Field. Top of the third inning is headed your way from Duncan Field on Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Well, we continue to see things that we have not seen at Duncan Field this year. We got another one of those feats in the bottom of the second inning with a home run by the Hastings Sodbusters. They lead 2-1, and Steve Sine will lead us through the top of the third inning.
As it'll be 9-1-2 for the Zap. Montillo, Frazier, and Phillips against Marcus Miller. Miller, 30 pitches thrown and allowing 1 run on 2 hits. Both of those hits doubles. We'll see what he can get done against Emilio Montillo. Montillo 2 for 7 in the first 3 games for the Zap. He's first pitch swinging, takes it to right field. Luke Cossey doesn't have to make a step. It's right at him, 1 pitch, 1 out. Love that for Marcus Miller as he tries to make his way through 5, 6, maybe 7 innings. A fly out to right on the first pitch of the third inning. That'll bring to the plate Gavin Frazier. Frazier had a pretty good battle with Miller the first time before popping it up to second base. 1 out, nobody on top of the third. 2-1 Sodbusters as Miller, the left-hander, brings it in. And this is bunted on the first base side. Miller off the mound in a hurry. Underhand toss out at first. Well played by Miller. Actually fell off to the third base side. He had to cover a lot of ground to get that and get the toss to Gavin Frazier for the second out of the inning.
It's always tough to do that as a pitcher. Underhand toss, and just knowing that that guy is sprinting down the line, but calm, collected, and cool, Marcus makes the play.
Here's Andrew Phillips with 2 quick outs on 2 pitches. Sodbusters trying to get right back to it. Miller will bring this one outside for ball 1. 1-0. Phillips, a strikeout victim his first time up. He's a returnee from last year when he had 167 for the Zap. Stands in the left-handed box. And the 1-0 delivery is outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Andrew Phillips. Phillips 2 for 6 coming into today. Did have a multi-hit game in the first game against Casper. 2 for 3 and RBI. 3 runs scored as the Zap won that game against the Spuds 15-8. Called strike 1, 2, and 1 the count. That contest saw OAHE jump out early and never trail. It was 5-1 after 2, 9-1 after 4. Casper came all the way back to make it 9-8 before the Zap put up 6 runs in the 8th inning to eliminate the drama. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2 now on Phillips, trying to avoid his second straight strikeout against Marcus Miller. 2-1 Sodbusters, top of the third. 2 runs, 2 hits for Hastings, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Zap. Perfect night by our standards here early in the season. Very little wind and the temperature around 60. This is as good as it's gotten for the first 4 games. The pitch fouled away. We haven't seen 70 degrees yet. It'll get there before the summer's over, but just in a cool spell after we saw 80s in March here in this part of the state. Cool here as we approach June. 2-2 the count after a Phillips foul off. He'll see the 6th pitch of this at bat after Montillo and Frazier combined to see 2 pitches. And this pitch is outside now, 3-2 on Phillips. Neither Miller or Aracha have walked a man. They've been very efficient with their pitches here through the first couple innings at Duncan Field. 408 to straightaway center, 405 to the alleys, 367 on the right field line, 370 to left. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Miller able to work a 1-2-3 inning for the second time in 3 frames. As we head to the bottom half of inning number 3, it's still 2-1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
To the bottom half of inning number 3, Sodbusters on top 2-1. The 2-run home run from Luke Causey. First home run in Sodbuster games here at Duncan Field in 2 years. So a great moment for Luke Causey. Arkansas Tech guy here to give this Sodbuster team the lead. Drew Vega, another Wonder Boy, will lead things off. It'll be Vega, Shabry, and Jarvis, 1, 2, 3 for the Sodbusters here in the 3rd. Drew Vega, scorching hot to begin the year. Hits in every game, multi-hits in 2 of the 3. 2 for 3 against Spearfish in the opener, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. 4 for 6 in that 12-9 victory on Sunday against the Sasquatch. Aracha's first pitch to him is down low. 1-0 the count. Vega, a strikeout victim against Aracha. Aracha with a couple of strikeouts. No walks for him as both pitchers have been in the zone. Particularly Marcus Miller. About 30 of 39 pitches thrown have been strikes. He had his first 3-ball count before striking out Phillips to end the top of the 3rd. Pitch outside here. 2 balls and no strikes on Drew Vega. Aracha's had to use a few more pitches, 40 coming into this frame. 2-0 delivery. Swing and a miss, 2-1 the count on Vega. Drew, multi-sport standout at Dardanelle in Arkansas before turning his attention to baseball for college. Exercise science major at Arkansas Tech. May want to own a gym someday. 2-1 pitch is outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Vega, it's hard to say anything but second baseman Drew Vega, but now he's been center field each of the last 2 games as Arkansas Tech wanted to see him out in the outfield this summer, see how he can do out there, and he's handled all chances pretty well. 3-1 pitches fouled away. That may be his future for Arkansas Tech and his best chance to get on the field, and I'm sure wherever he can play, he'll play if he gets a chance to swing the bat. 3-2, first batter of the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Sodbusters have a 2-1 lead, trying for a 4-0 start and continue their control of OAHE after winning all 10 games a year ago. Pitch down low for ball 4. Now, there were some close games, there were blowouts, but the Sodbusters coming out on top in every game against the Zap. Brings to the plate Jaden Shabry. Shabry retired on a ground out to the 3rd baseman, his first time up. Shabry, 380 for the spring. at Lorenzo Valley High School in Boulder Creek, California. Had 3 home runs, knocked in 9, and scored 22 times. Righty-righty matchup, pitched right back up the middle. The shortstop's got it, dishes to the second baseman, throw over to first, in time. How about the turn for the Zap? Oh my goodness. Naruto Sato flipping it to Gavin Frazier. He got the ball right above his head and turned and just hurled it to first. Dug out nicely there by Ludvigsen. That is a pretty good 6-4-3 against a Jaden Shabry guy who can run.
There's nothing you can do except tip your cap to that middle infield right there. I mean, for crying out loud, Gavin Frazier was falling backwards when he threw that ball, and it was right on target. Unbelievable play.
2 outs, nobody on now, and quickly the threat is averted as Ryan Jarvis steps to the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters. He was a ground-out victim his first time up to Ludvigsen over at first. 1-0 delivery. And the pitch is missing, ball 2. 2-0 the count on Jarvis. Has been the model of consistency, a hit in every game so far. And was really good at first base. I think he was charged with 1 error, but he made some big-time defensive plays when not much was going well for the Sodbusters in the final couple innings on Sunday to help preserve a 12-9 victory. Jarvis watches this one go by. He's ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes to Saginaw Valley State product Ryan Jarvis, helping the Cardinals to 30 wins, hitting .330 in the spring, and takes the first strike of this at-bat, 3-1 on Ryan Jarvis. Top batting average on the team. He also homered twice, 33 runs batted in, 37 runs scored, getting much more playing time this spring than he did last year. 3-1 delivery. Across for a strike, and Aracha trying to come all the way back and work a 1-2, and face the minimum. He walked the first, got the double play, and tried to not face any more than 3 after he worked an official 1-2-3 inning back in the first. 3-2 delivery. This one grounded back up the middle, and Ryan Jarvis has got himself another hit, as he will have a hit in every game. Runner at first, 2 outs now for Weston Johnston.
Death taxes and Ryan Jarvis getting a single here at Duncan Field. The 3 certainties in life. Another hard hit ball, 85 off the bats. Pretty sure about over half the balls the guys have put in play for Hastings have been 85 miles an hour or higher. They are putting some solid contact on Aracha.
Johnston reached on an air and scored his first time up. Sodbusters lead it by a score of 2-1 here in the bottom half of inning number 3. First pitch swinging is Weston Johnston. Fouls it off. No balls and 1 strike on Weston. Another Arkansas Tech guy, multi-hit game in the first game of the year against Spearfish. 2 for 3 in RBI, had a stolen base in that one. Stands in the right-handed box and watches this one go by for ball 1. Just missed outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson walked 3 times, scored the winning run in the 7-6 victory in game 2 of that series, and then had a big 2-run single to get the game tied up early against Spearfish, and the Sodbuster offense was off and running, taking a 12-3 lead before hanging on 12-9. Pitch just misses for ball 2. Johnston playing behind the plate today for Hastings. 2-1 the count on Johnston. Runner at first, 2 outs. Sodbusters lead it 2-1 here in the 3rd. Aracha, check of the runner. Runner goes, and Jarvis is going to have a stolen base standing up as Codina mishandled on the exchange and never made the throw. Ryan Jarvis into scoring position, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike on Johnston. It's Ryan Jarvis now in scoring position. We'll see if Johnston can knock him home as the Sodbusters try to add to a 2-1 lead. In their green uniforms today for the second time. Of course, 1-0 in all 3 of their uniforms to this point. Ground ball to the left side. Shortstop's got it. Throw to first. It's wild. Jarvis will score. Around first, Johnston heading to second. He is in scoring position, reaching on an error for the second time today. Such a good play for the middle infielder earlier this inning, but Naruto Sato threw it away this time. Jarvis comes in to score. Johnston ends up at second, and the Sodbusters gifted a run here to take a 3-1 lead, and we'll see a visit to the mound as the head coach, Jamie Habiger, will come out and visit with his right-hander.
Not a bad play by the shortstop Sato, but the attention they call on the first baseman there, Ludvigsen. Once you recognize that throw is going to be well off the bag and there's a guy at third, your main goal needs to be just knock the baseball down in any way. You see his outstretched glove. He just swept his glove up there, hoping that he was going to get the out there. Just got to knock that ball down and limit the run. Could have had first and third with 2 outs. You would take that base runner reaching first with another run not coming across the plates. The Zap did not oblige in doing that there.
And now Luke Causey will step to the plate with a runner in scoring position, 2 out. And how do you follow up your first home run at Duncan Field? Just put the same kind of swing on you did last time. It sounded pretty good coming off the bat. I don't know if it sounded home run good, but it got out of here as clearing the fence, clearing the brick wall here at Duncan Field. Pretty special moment for Luke Causey. And now chance for another tack-on run here. See if he can put one to the outfield and bring home Weston Johnston, who scored in front of the home run the first time. Aracha brings home the pitch, and this one rifled into right field for a base hit. Johnston around third. He is going to score, and the Hastings Sodbusters take a 4-1 lead. Luke Causey not trying to do too much, just another good swing. He's got 3 runs batted in, and the Sodbusters get a pair of 2-out runs here in the third.
Heck of a job by Luke Causey. That's got to be a thought in the back of your mind. I want to go yard again or put one in there, but just keeping the line moving for his team. And I'm very surprised that Aracha gave him a hittable pitch on the first offering at that at-bat there.
Here's Brock Cross coming to the plate. He singled his last time up for Hastings. Already a multi-hit game for Causey. Pitch taken outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And the Sodbusters certainly an opportunity to put Causey in motion. He's got a stolen base this year for Hastings. They've already stolen a bag this inning with Ryan Jarvis getting into scoring position, eventually leading to a run. Causey leads away, does not go. The pitch right across the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 on Brock Cross for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cross getting his first base hit as a Hastings player last inning. Went 0 for 3 and scored twice in the 12-9 win on Sunday. Pitch taken inside and off the backside of Brock Cross. So runners at first and second now, and Jude Greaves trying to keep it going. He struck out his last time up.
Well, Cross and Jude Greaves seem to be the early candidates for ball magnets of the year for the guys, because that is the 3rd time Cross has been hit, and didn't seem any too pleased by it. So OAHE looks like they're going to the pen early.
So pitching change will be made. We'll tell you about the new OAHE pitcher. Sodbusters lead at 4-1 in the bottom half of inning number 3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
4-1, Hastings with the lead. A new left-hander has come into the game for the OAHE Zap. Bryce Van de Woesteen out of Clark University. He doesn't have a record. He's got a 7.0 ERA, making 1 appearance, allowing a run on 2 hits, striking out 2 and walking 1. And he'll be trying to get out of this mess against Jude Greaves. First and second, 2 men out. Greaves will try to bring home a run for the Hastings Sodbusters as Brock Cross hit by a pitch. It's amazing, and it didn't ever seem like there was anything that either team took personally between Spearfish and the Hastings Sodbusters, but those 2 teams hit each other almost 20 times in 3 games. So kind of a nutty stat. And the hit parade continues now with OAHE as Brock Cross hit by a pitch today.
Well, Bryce Van de Woesteen from Clark University was a sophomore for this year's team, but did not see any time on the mound. Kind of a taller guy, stands at 6'2", but I think to your point, Steve, the going to the bullpen early, and now for OAHE, this is their 4th game, and it'll be the 4th consecutive game that they have not had a starter pitch past 3 innings, as their starter Aracha tonight only finishes 2 2/3. Unlike Hastings, who in the first 3 games they've had all 3 of their starters go 5 innings or more. So that advantage right now for the pitching staff in this series seems to be pointed in the direction of the Sodbusters.
Now, OAHE hadn't had anybody pitch more than once before today. Both of the guys seeing action today are now pitching for the second time. But you mentioned it. You feel like the high leverage guys should be ready to go for Hastings if and when they have to use them, and hopefully build a pretty good lead here. And a solid start so far for Marcus Miller, and now staked to a 4-1 lead. Jude Greaves trying to continue the inning here for Hastings with runners at first and second, and a first pitch swing and strike 1 to Jude Greaves. Luke Causey aboard for the second time. He's 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. He's at second base. Brock Cross at first after being hit by a pitch. Van de Woesteen brings it in, and right on the inside corner for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Jude Greaves, trying to battle here, the Metro Community College Kansas City catcher out of Oak Grove, Missouri. College teammate of Chase Phillips, who's been both in the field and on the mound for Hastings here in the early going. Bouncing ball to the left side, and that's just foul. Probably would have been the 3rd out. Good thing Ty Farwell had fielded it. Would have been able to step on the bag to end the inning, but another chance here for Jude Greaves. 4-1. Hastings on top. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Sodbusters. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors now for the Zap. Hastings beating OAHE 10 times last year. It's a new season, though. Fresh players on both squads. 0-2 pitch on the way. Greaves swings and misses. That'll do it for Hastings here in the 3rd. But 2 runs come across on 2 hits. There was an error and 2 left. We head to the 4th. It's Hastings 4, OAHE 1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Head of the 4th inning, it's a 4-1 lead for the Hastings Sodbusters. Marcus Miller out there, and he has been dynamite. 30 of his 39 pitches have been strikes. Gave up a couple of doubles and a run back in the 2nd, but then worked a 1-2-3 third. As a matter of fact, 2 1-2-3 innings in his 3 efforts for the Hastings Sodbusters, as Hastings responding offensively with 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, taking advantage of a couple of OAHE errors. Last year when Hastings swept OAHE, they hit .261, which doesn't seem like that good of a batting average, but they held OAHE to 183. They also stole 19 out of 21 bases, while OAHE stole 12. Team ERA for the Sodbusters against OAHE a year ago, 2.9. While OAHE had a 5.93 as the Sodbusters averaged an 8-3 win every time they faced the Zap a season ago. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Zap with Ludvigsen, Daly, and Farwell against Marcus Miller. It's a lefty-lefty matchup to open the 4th inning. The bullpen silent for Hastings, as it should be, with Marcus Miller in great shape pitch count. First pitch is right across for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Quinn Ludvigsen, a strikeout victim his first time up. He's out of Mankato State in Minnesota. 2 for 7, 3 runs batted in, a run scored, and a stolen base before today's action, and takes a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. And a good Nordic name, Ludvigson. He should be from Minnesota. That sounds like the perfect home for that young man. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitches outside for a ball, although if he was going to pick a college outside of Minnesota, should have gone to Bethany, could have been a Swede. 2 balls and a strike to count. Bethany, the home of Austin Aracha, the starting pitcher today for OAHE, as the pitch misses outside. 3-1. It's just the second 3-ball count for Marcus Miller, but they've come in back-to-back hitters, taking the limit by Andrew Phillips before striking him out to end the third. 3-1 delivery on the way. Ball 4. So disappointing start to the 4th inning. It'll be Daly, Farwell, and Codina as this OAHE team tries to come back from an early 4-1 deficit.
Told you about that's what Marcus Miller did so good at last year, was limiting walks. In his 8 appearances, only walked 7 batters across 38 and a third innings. Just his first one tonight.
Runner at first and nobody out. Swing and a miss for Jake Daly. Daly flew out to center his first time up. Daly out of St. Peter's University, 333 coming into today, 4 out of 12, with 3 of his 4 hits doubles. He had 2 of those doubles in the season opening win over Casper. As the pitch is missing for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Went 3 for 6 in that game and knocked in 4. An eye-popping 15-8 victory over the defending Independence League champs, but then Casper came back and won a doubleheader, 2-1 and 7-3 in Casper. Miller brings home the 1-1 pitch, and that's low and in the turf. Good stop for Weston Johnston to keep it in front, and now Miller's fallen behind both of his batters here in inning number 4.
Well, Miller's been probably about 50-50 between his curveball and his fastball, sprinkling that changeup in there a little bit, and I think OAHE hitters are finally picking up on his release point for his curveball and are taking really good ones.
Swing and a miss, throw down to first, and hustling back in safely, Ludvigson. It's 2-2 now on Daly, with Ludvigson running at first. He's grabbing that throw down. Jude Greaves on the pick attempt from Weston Johnston, the catcher for the Hastings Sodbusters. Chase Miller, not to be confused with Chase Phillips at second base today. That's going to get me before the year's over. 2-2 delivery on the way. Swing and a miss. Miller comes back to get Daly for the first out of this inning. Shortstop today is Jaden Shabry, and Sodbusters have shown a couple of very capable shortstops here in the first 4 games. Third baseman today is Brock Cross for Hastings.
Already the 5th strikeout for Marcus this evening. His season high in any game for Hastings College in the spring was also 5.
First pitch strike to Ty Farwell. Farwell, a 1-out double and a run scored in the second. The only run across for OAHE. 4-1 the score. Hastings on top half of inning number 4 here at Duncan Field on a really nice night. Temperatures around 60 degrees, but no wind, which has been a rarity here in Nebraska over the past few weeks. Pitch across, quickly 2 strikes. So after falling behind 3-1 and 2-1 to the last 2 hitters, 2 quick strikes as he tries to retire the second man of this inning with a runner at first and 1 man out. Miller brings it home. Rifled into left field. That's a base hit. Good job for Ty Farwell to take it the other way, and he's 2 for 2. Runners at first and second, only 1 out for Noah Codina.
Yeah, it looked like Farwell was sitting breaking ball there and then recognized the fastball right at the last second. Just poked it. And is rewarded with his second base hit today.
Codina, a strikeout victim, his first time up for the powder blue-clad OAHE Zap, going with the yellow helmets today. They have a variety of uniform combos, much like the rest of their Independence League foes. Sodbusters, I think they have 4. We've seen 3 so far. So they have the grays to go along with green, yellow, and black jerseys. Don't wear the grays very often. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Noah Codina. Runners at first and second, a chance for OAHE to come right back. Ball struck well, but foul over on the OAHE dugout side. 1-1 the count on Codina. Noah coming into today 0 for 5. Couple of runs batted in and a run scored. He's out of Texas College. Not to be confused with UT, one of the 64 teams in the NCAA Division I tournament and one of the host sites. The Southeastern Conference, they can play a little baseball, I guess. Pitch fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 13 Southeastern Conference teams. Just 13 out of the 64.
Weren't we having this conversation last year about the SEC just dominant all the way through baseball and some SEC teams getting in that maybe didn't deserve to? I think the selection committee did a pretty good job of properly seeding and including everybody that should have been, especially leaving out Iowa this year.
Bouncing ball left side, and you talk about the lack of respect for the Big Ten. Only one really true Big Ten team makes the NCAA tournament. You've got all of the interlopers, Oregon, USC, and UCLA. Oh, sure, they're in the tournament. And would Iowa have made it if Nebraska had lost?
Probably.
Interesting. That's a fact. Although Iowa, I mean, they did themselves no favors. Got swept at home by Oregon, and then they lose a pool play game. The Big Ten tournament. Did make the semifinals, but won 1 and 2 in the tournament too. So they did themselves no favors in terms of trying to get there.
I think they finished 2-11 maybe to end their season, which even though they had one of the best records in the Big Ten, that'll do it to you right there. And to your last point, the Big Ten tournament or Big Ten teams in there, it's Nebraska and the former Pac-12.
Yes, that's exactly that was the point I was making. Noah Cadena at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a bouncing ball to the right side. The first baseman's got it. Throws to second. Back to first. Safe there. About the aggressiveness for Jude Greaves. Guns it over to the shortstop covering. Jaden Shabry tried to bring it back. Great hustle over for Marcus Miller to get the relay throw. So to get the middle runner there, it's 3-6 on the putout. Codina reaches on the fielder's choice. Ludvigsen now at third. Runners the corners, 2 outs, and it's still 4-1.
Like the play by Greaves there. You've got plenty of time with the hard hit ball right at you. Make sure your middle infielder gets to the bag first, and made a great throw. Always hold your breath a little bit on those. You see a lot of those get thrown away into the outfield. Perfect for Greaves, and now you have runners at the corners and a force out at first and second still.
Pitch high to Connor Goldberg. Goldberg rifled a double and knocked in a run his last time up. Now, I'm not saying those 13 teams shouldn't have made it for the Southeastern Conference, but it, gets a little... Last year, the College World Series was the Southeastern Conference ACC Invitational. 1-0 delivery. Just nice to see different teams. 1-1 pitch. Or 1-0 pitch is across for strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Connor Goldberg. 4-1. Hastings on top. As Connor Goldberg trying to deliver here for OAHE. Runners at the corners, and the pitch hit hard into left field for a base hit. A run will score as an RBI single for Goldberg. So both Goldberg and Farwell with multi-hit games in this contest. As Ludvigsen scores the second run of the game, and the inning not over yet. First and second, 2 outs for Naruto Sato for the OAHE Zap.
Well, something we haven't seen a Sodbuster opponent do yet this year is have their beer batter go 2 for 2 with a pair of RBI hits, as Goldberg is the complete opposite of the beer batter right now. He's driven in both of the Zap's runs today.
Ty Vronic did not choose well. He's the, I think he's the chooser, or it's one of the Frew boys. I'm not sure who exactly chooses, but Nate Frew is an amazing beer batter chooser. He actually scouted it out, looked at stats. Others, maybe not so much. 1-0 the count on Sato. 2 outs, 2 on, as OAHE coming right back after the Sodbusters put up 4 unanswered in the last 2 at-bats. And a run across and an opportunity for more as the pitch misses to Sato. 2 balls and no strikes on the left-handed hitting Sato against the left-handed pitcher Marcus Miller. Miller by far his most pitches in an inning as he tries to battle through this. 2-0 delivery. Across for a strike. 2-1 the count. Sato out of Riverland Community College was 1 for 4 for the season coming into today. A ground ball out to the third baseman, Brock Cross, his first time up. First and second, 2 men out, 1 run home as the OAHE Zap have single runs in the second and fourth. Fastball at the knees for strike 2, and Sodbusters a strike away from getting out of this inning with no more damage done. No action behind Marcus Miller. Trying to get another quality start of the Hastings Sodbusters. Ethan Marshall, the most recent guy to do that, as he worked 6 innings on Sunday. 2-2 delivery, taken upstairs. Now 3-2. They've had a little more velocity for Marcus Miller that time, as he brought that one a bit. We're going to see a visit here from the shortstop. Jaden Shabry comes over, talks to the pitcher, calls the catcher out as well, as Marcus Miller and Weston Johnston and the starting shortstop, Jaden Shabry, getting together. Don't have a hidden ball trick in you, do you?
Not when you have a dead ball like that. Can't do it like that, unfortunately. I would love to see that.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will go, and the pitch. Bouncing ball back to Miller. Miller sets, throws to first in time, and the Sodbusters minimize the damage here as Sato with the comebacker, but the Zap do get on the board. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left as we head to the bottom half of inning number 4. It's 4-2 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Bryce Vander Woestijn out for his first full inning of work against the Hastings Sodbusters. 4-2, Hastings on top as they'll send their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up there. It'll be Hannaford, Miller, and Vega against Vander Woestijn as Austin Aracha gets the start, goes 2 2/3. And his final line, 4 runs, just 1 of them earned. He allowed 4 hits, struck out 2, and walked 1. He also hit a man. Would be the losing pitcher unless his team can rally. The Sodbusters with 2 runs each in the second and third. See how they do with Hannaford and Miller, the first 2 scheduled to bat here in a gorgeous night. It's a Tuesday here, as they'll have a 3-game series with the Hastings Sodbusters and then have the weekend off before welcoming Fremont in for 1 game, a brief 2-game series, home and home, as Hastings then will go to Fremont to play the Moo. Couple of days off, then they'll have 1 game against the Nebraska Prospects before hitting the road for the first time at what would eventually be a 7-game series against Casper. 4 on the road, 3 at home. And if you're off to a good start, but that series could go a long way toward determining who wins the first half here in the Independence League. Sodbusters will have Jet Hannaford up there. He had a fielder's choice grounder his first time up. Left-hander to the right-handed hitting Hannaford. Squaring to bunt, pops it up. And the catcher can't get there as Codina started in and then realized it was back over his head and strike 1. Hannaford fortunate to be at the plate.
Yeah, fortunate for the Sodbusters, too, that Codina did not read that off the bat well, because that was, if he reads that well, it should be an easy first out of the inning.
As a no ball, 1 strike count. And the pitch. Hit pretty hard to center field, going back on his horse and getting there in plenty of time is Andrew Phillips. So Hannaford hit it hard, but he's out here in the bottom half of inning number 4. F8 retiring Hannaford. Chase Miller will come to the plate. As Miller, number 9 hitter, grounded out his first time up.
More loud contact by the Sodbuster offense. That time, just nothing to show for it.
We're going to hear from Scott Galusha in the 5th inning here very shortly. Well, maybe it'll be a while. I guess we'll find out. The Sodbusters We're going to try to take their time and not rush Scott getting to the mic here. As swing and a miss for Chase Miller for the Hastings Sodbusters. Another Saginaw Valley Stater, the Cardinal, went 2-14 in 10 games played in the spring for Saginaw Valley. Takes the pitch for a strike, quickly 2 strikes, and Vando Osteen coming in and throwing strikes. Got a strikeout, and the only man he faced in the third, getting a fly out to center and quickly ahead of Chase Miller, the number 9 hitter. 0-2 delivery, bounced back up the middle. The shortstop's got it. The set, the throw to first in time. No problem for Sato. 2 quick outs and back to the top of the inning for Drew Vega, who's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout and a walk. Sodbusters looking for a 4-0 start. A 3-game sweep of Spearfish. The only time they'll play here. They'll have a rematch in South Dakota the 17th, 18th, and 19th. They'll play 3 games for sure and probably play a doubleheader one of those games, which will actually technically be a home game for Hastings. They'll be the home team to make up that game from yesterday. Bunt attempt, Vega popped it back over the head of the catcher, Codina, and it's 1 strike on Drew Vega. Sodbusters can't get bunts down here in inning number 4.
That one even closer to Codina there. If he's able to read that, could have very easily been another out for Hastings.
2 quick outs here in the inning. Have to see how it works for Spearfish and from a travel standpoint. Likely maybe the middle game, the middle day you play a doubleheader. I know Spearfish has got that going on with Fremont. They're playing a single game today, a doubleheader tomorrow, and then a single game to get a 4 games in 3, because you don't want to play a doubleheader on getaway day, and you really don't want to play a doubleheader the first game of the series. 1 ball, 1 strike on Drew Vega. Vando Osteen brings it in. Vega hits this one into left field for a base hit. Drew Vega 1 for 2, so a 2-out hit, and Jaden Shabry will try to keep it going for the Hastings Sodbusters. We'll see if they turn Vega loose here, try to get him in scoring position. Had a couple of stolen bases in the first game against Spearfish.
4 games, 8 hits for Drew Vega. Still batting above 500 this early season.
Shabry, a pair of ground balls, one of those a double play, an amazing effort for OAHE. 4-2, Sodbusters on top, trying to get that run back that they gave up in the top of the inning. Pitch taken high to Jaden Shabry, recent high school grad. Shabry still thinking about his college plans. The other guy who just graduated college, Brock Cross, is committed to Washington State. 1-0 delivery. In there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Shabry. A fly out, a ground out, a single here in the bottom half of inning number 4. And 4-2, the Hastings Sodbusters on top of the OAHE Zap. The pitch. Runner goes, pitch outside, throw down, and safe. Vega into scoring position on the stolen base. Now any old single to the outfield, and you likely get your 5th run home of the day.
Fortunate enough that that pitch was low and away. Codina didn't get a good exchange on it. The throw just a bit late. Vega showing off the wheels, his 3rd stolen base of the season.
Sodbusters continue to be aggressive. Now 13 stolen bases on the year. Team which stole 100 bases, just over 100 last season. On pace to steal well over that. OAHE just 1 stolen base their first 3+ games. 2-2 pitch now to Shabry. Hits it high in the air to left field. It's carrying pretty well, but this is Duncan Field, and running into the left field gap is going to be Montillo to make the catch, and Hastings does not score. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left, and we head to the 5th. It's Hastings 4, OAHE 2. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
4 innings in the books at Duncan Field, the first of a 3-game series. Here against the OAHE Zap, it's the good guys 4 and the Zap 2. We're now joined in the studio by our general manager and co-owner, Scott Galusha. Scott, you've finally relieved of coaching duties for the first time today. You spent some time on the field, but the Busters off to a 3-0 start for the first time this season. How's business going right now on your end?
Well, good. Our kids are playing good. You know, we've got the kind of kids that I just love, Ryan. They just want to come. They want to work out all the time. They want to hit all the time, and they're just hard-nosed baseball players. And it makes me smile to see young kids that just love the game like this, and they're playing hard every night out, and gives us a chance to win.
Great attitude so far, and for the Zap in this top of the 5th, Emiliano Montillo sends it up the middle, but Chase Miller, he is there. He makes the first out on the first pitch of the inning, and lots to talk about in this game tonight. Marcus Miller's been strong so far, and even more special, our first home run we've seen in a Sodbusters game here at Duncan Field since 2023. Luke Cossey, I believe you told us about what he could do at the start of the season, but super cool moment from that.
Really good. You know, he was trying too hard early in the year, and which is normal. Everybody, when they get here, especially when they're near kids, they want to try to impress. They try a little too hard. And we talked, I think it was the second game. I can't remember what day it was, Ryan. It all runs together. But I said, hey, why don't you see one longer and hit one over the shortstop? And he did that. And when he did that, I knew he was on the ball longer. And big, strong kid. And it was good. He put a good swing on it. But maybe more impressive is if you heard our conversation, I was barking at him from the stands when he was on the on-deck circle after the home run, and I said, hey, don't try it again. Let's see a line drive here. And he got on top of one and drove one to right field for a hit, and that just made me smile because that kid understands what we're trying to do. And so that was really impressive and happy for him. He goes in the record book because that just doesn't happen too often.
That very selfless approach there. I mean, if I'm a hitter, I'm going to try and go 2 for 2 because I'm sure the list is short. First, a ground ball in front of the plate, stays fair, gun to first by Weston Johnston, retires Gavin Frazier, a swinging bunt, but it goes in the favor of the Sodbusters, 2 up and 2 down in this 5th inning, and Andrew Phillips is next to bat.
Well, first of all, Andrew Phillips, we want to root for Andrew. Andrew was he was a guy that we were looking at from South Dakota State. Danny Higginbotham is one of their coaches and a friend of mine, and he decided he wanted to stay closer to home, which is fine, so we're going to root for him. I did text Danny today, and I said, do you want us to hit him, walk him? Do you want me to give him an extra fastball? Because I'll help you out. But that's just kind of the fun part of summer baseball. So I got a chance to meet him or visit with him a little bit. So that's kind of fun with the league, how that works. So,
well, Andrew Phillips just finishing up his redshirt freshman year with the Jackrabbits, who the Sodbusters had a couple of last year. And Heartland, Minnesota native, could have been a Sodbuster with his buddies last year. He'll send a ground ball to shortstop, and he will head back to the dugout 0 for 3 today. And that is a 1-2-3 5th inning. We'll keep it right here with general manager and co-owner Scott Galusha. Let's talk about Marcus Miller now. That is now 3 up and 3 down innings for a guy who pitched very courageously for a very struggling Hastings College team, but the hometown kid, he is looking electric in his first start.
Well, you know what? I love Marcus. Marcus, he doesn't go with us on the road because he's got to work. He works 40 hours a week, and we schedule him pitching around his schedule. The kid just loves to be part of what we're doing. And you know what's great? I mean, Marcus, if he had 3 chances, he might break some glass. But we know we're going to get 5 or 6 innings out of him night in and night out. And he's just going to come back and compete, and he does his work on his off season. So he's just he's part of the family, one of the kids that I love them all. But Marcus has a soft spot in our heart because anytime we know we're going to get out of him. And in summer baseball, when it's so difficult to get all these innings filled, we know what we're going to get from Marcus about once a week.
Well, for the Sodbusters coming up in this bottom of the 5th inning, we've got Ryan Jarvis, Weston Johnston, and Luke Cossey coming up, but Scott, you got to spend a few games down on the field, and the best start for the Sodbusters in their program history. What is different about this team so far in the early returns?
Well, first of all, it's really early, and so we're not quite ready for a parade yet.
Of course.
But in the same sense, I really like our attitude. I mentioned that a little bit when I started. We just got to. They're just my kind of kids, and that's the fun part of when I go talk to these coaches and talk to these kids, that I get kids I like, and I get kids that are gym rats. They want to come to the field all the time. They just want to play hard. I mean, as soon as we called the game, I had 6. I'll double check for sure, but I think I had 6 text messages within 5 minutes. Can we go hit?
Wow.
And so I mean, they just want to play, and they want to get after it, and so usually it's better to start on the road, so all these guys are forced to be on a bus together and hotel rooms
Throw
together.
them in the fire.
But that doesn't seem to be an issue with our guys. They're all getting along. They're all hanging out. They're all goofing around after the game together before the game, and so it's really neat. It's such summer baseball is such a cool thing, and so we're really happy with how we started. But we also, if you think you're good, then that's half the battle. And right now we think we're pretty good.
I would say so as well. Sodbusters the only undefeated team in the Independence League that has played a game so far. Ryan Jarvis out to right field, and he is out number 1 to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Quick game recap for you. It's 4-2 Sodbusters. Hastings getting 2 runs each in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. Zap getting lone runs in the 2nd and the 4th. OAHE with 4 hits and 2 errors on defense. Sodbusters with 5 hits and no errors on defense. Weston Johnston, the next batter, he has reached twice on an error and scored a couple of runs.
Just a really good-looking player. Good swing there.
Oh,
yes.
Sends it under the shortstop's glove as Sato sees it go by him. We'll see how they score that.
Ryan, you should know that. He didn't touch it.
That's a hit.
He didn't touch it.
Well,
and
we've
it didn't
seen
go. I know, but it didn't go through his legs, and so I think you have to give him a hit on that. But anyway.
Yep. Well, we've been so sure on some, and then Game Changer says something different.
Well,
so
that's
we're
because
always hesitant to say it right away.
Well, Andy, when I'm down there, he goes, "What do you think? Hit or error?" So sometimes we have to rein Andy back in a little bit. He does a good job, but some of those are hard. But I think that's a base hit. I think it was hit hard enough, and not an easy play. Had to go to his arm side a little bit. But a couple things that I wanted to point out to just real briefly. We're really young again, and we have lots of babies. I mean, by the time the middle of the summer gets here, we're going to have, I think, 6, maybe 7, 8. I think 8 graduating senior high school kids, and so we're really young again. Okay. But I got to tell you, Ryan Jarvis and Drew Vega and Creighton Jacobitz, the 3 guys that are here so far that have been here before, have done a phenomenal job. Saying things like, "This is what we do." Nice. And so those guys have done a nice leadership, and of course, Josh being pretty much a player for us last year, he's doing a good job because it's really hard to change between being a player and a coach in this short of time. So been really impressed with Josh Printer, and so we're off to a good start, but we got to keep playing hard night in and night out.
Well, Lucasi strikes out there by Bryce Van de Woesteen. The first time that Kasi has been retired after his 2-run shot over the 405 field sign in the 2nd inning and his RBI single in the 3rd inning. Head coach Jamie Habiger out to the mound to have a chat with his infield. 1 on and 2 out, and it looks like they will be making a pitching change. But with 2 outs here, we'll keep it right here with Scott Galusha.
Yep.
What else you got for us, Scott? We've got lots of games still in front of us,
yes,
and plenty of opportunities to come out to Duncan Field this year. What else do you need to accomplish before we get this final out here?
Well, you know what? Well, first of all, we got to get Mother Nature to help us out a little bit. We've had lots and lots of rain, and it's just really cold. You guys got the best seat in the house today because you can turn the heater on if you want, and I did when I walked in here because I was cold. But yeah, so it's been a nice start for us. Had a lot of people. A lot of people that I don't always recognize come up and say, "Hey, great game last night." So the people are noticing that we're off to a 3-0 start. I've got lots of calls on the broadcast, so I mean it's so nice to have everybody back, and it's really cool that every one of our game day staff except for Addie Faye has been here for at least their 3rd year. And so that really is near and dear to my heart, that all you guys want to come back and keep doing this with us. And that makes me feel nice, and I think that makes it easy for us to get going, because we have some new people, but the consistency is great for us, and I'm really happy about that. We're going to just keep hunting for pitchers. I think we got a couple signed today. I had one signed yesterday that backed out today, so I'm careful that I almost shouldn't have said anything, but we'll see. But we're continuing to look for pitchers, but we're really happy with the kind of kids that we have to start with. I mean, we got some guys from coaches that I know. Of course, Dave Dawson, he does a great job at Arkansas Tech. The Wonder Boys, who other than Nebraska is my favorite team, and I've yet to ever see him play, but I'm going to get down there. And Brandon Evans in Saginaw Valley, him and I have got a chance to talk a lot, and he's got a great program down there. So I think those are going to be staples moving forward, and continue to add some new schools.
Well, we've seen the Independence League add the Bison and the Plainsmen last year. They'll have seasons again this year. Is that kind of looking like how it's going to be for the next few years, or do you know if we're going to see maybe a shakeup in the Independence League, maybe in the near future, teams-wise?
Well, I do believe that we have plans to add at least one next year, if not two.
Okay.
So again, those are all not quite done yet. One of them was really close, and we were thinking about trying to force them to see if we could get them ready to go in 25, and that just wasn't in the cards. But we do believe that there is going to be some expansion. Our league, all the owners are part of the league, and we're all trying to do some of that work in order to continue to give everybody the best opportunity that we can. And we're happy that our teams are the same from last year. The consistency is nice, but we would like to continue to add teams. Just because we just think the bigger the better as far as that goes. But it's getting harder and harder to get pitchers. Just the state of the athletes now, not only with football but baseball, the players kind of have all the power. And so when a coach says, hey, you should go play for the Sodbusters, and that player says, I don't want to play for the Sodbusters, I don't want to play summer baseball, then they pretty much let them go. Otherwise, they leave school. So it's been a challenge for everybody, but we continue to work on getting good kids, and I've got a lot of coaches that I lean on, and I know our reputation in terms of how we take care of kids will help us all through that.
Well, we're in our game here. We got a 3-1 count. New pitcher on the mound for OAHE is Jackson Cornett. Brock Cross takes a big cut and a miss at a fastball upstairs in the zone. Cornett on for the first time this season for OAHE. Just finished up his freshman year at Ellsworth Community College. 20 appearances, a 9.0 ERA. Gave up the 19 runs in 19 innings, but struck out 22 batters and has a full count to Cross, who has singled and been hit by a pitch. We've got another pitch upcoming with Weston Johnston at first base.
Have you had a chance to stand next to Brock Cross yet?
I mean, I can tell. He almost reminds me of a Jack Borgman from last year.
Yeah, except for he just graduated from high school. So I don't recall. I'm pretty sure I didn't look like that when I graduated high school.
No.
But what a physical specimen, and really a neat story, because I'm sure you've said it or maybe not, but he led the state of Arizona in home runs.
Well, not that time. He tried to put a ball in play, but strikes out swinging there. And that is the final out of the inning. Still 4-2 in favor of the Sodbusters. We're going to have a lot more chance to catch up with Scott this season, but still got to say hi to your family.
Yep, well, always got to say hi to the family. So I know Karen's watching, because I called her earlier, accidentally FaceTimed her, and she said, look, I got the game on in the background. So I know she's watching. And, of course, hi to Kenny's in Hawaii working, my son. Cassandra and Cal are in Omaha, and then Allie's in Omaha. Maddie's in Massachusetts, and my oldest daughter, Amanda, they just moved to Florida. So we got them all over the place, and I'm sure some of them are watching, maybe my mom and dad too. So thank you very much. Appreciate all you guys do. And it was nice to I surely like it on the field. That's my favorite spot on earth, but it's nice to be back to my normal job. So thank you so much, guys.
We appreciate your time, and hello, Galusha family. Your general manager, co-owners doing a great job. As always, of course, we always appreciate Scott coming up with us. Quick break.
You.
We'll be right back for the top of the 6th inning on Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
It's the top of the 6th inning. We're over halfway done in the first of the 3-game series between the Sodbusters and the OAHE Zap, trying to keep their perfect record intact. Nothing doing for either side in the bottom and the top of the 5th inning for the Zap and the Sodbusters. Just heard from general manager and co-owner Scott Galusha, and now we'll hear once again from Steve Stein.
Well, OAHE's been pretty good in the even innings. It's been Marcus Miller who's dominated the odds. We are in the 6th. We'll see how it goes. Quinn Ludvigsen, who walked and scored back in the 4th, leads things off here in the 6th. And Marcus Miller, a 7-pitch inning in that 5th. Now just 74 pitches thrown to get through 5. His team leads at 4-2. And a big swing, no contact for Ludvigsen, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Lefty-lefty matchup as the Hastings Sodbusters trying to start 4-0. Pitch way outside. Nice stop there for Weston Johnston. Johnston did a nice job last inning to come out of the box and gun down Gavin Frazier on a little dribbler down the third base line. Sodbusters have shown solid defense. The shortstop's been good. Shabry. Sodbusters have look good in the field to this point, and you're going to get a lot of chances with Marcus Miller, although he does have his share of strikeouts in this one, becoming more of a strikeout pitcher, 5 of them today. But he works quickly, a lot of balls put in play, and so easy to stay sharp defensively behind him. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Ludvigsen. Sodbusters trying to continue their season opening win streak. The 3 against OAHE. Curveball just misses inside. Miller wanted that one, but it looked like Johnston maybe was set up outside a little bit. He had to move the glove, and that may have cost him the call there from Braxton Arndt, the home plate umpire. Jason Seitz working the field. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, so he gets it. It does bounce away, and Johnston picks it up and throws to first to complete the strikeout, number 6 of the game for Marcus Miller.
Well, that's a career high or a season high for him this year, including his collegiate experience. In 11 starts, he had only struck out 5 batters in a start a couple of times. Number 6 will push him over that mark. That breaking ball looking really, really good tonight.
Jake Daly 0 for 2 steps in and swings and misses. Yeah, a couple of guys have Marcus Miller figured out. The rest of the team has been pretty mystified. 2 for 2 for Ty Farwell, 2 for 2 for Connor Goldberg. The rest of the team is 0 for against Marcus Miller. Swing at a foul ball, and the third base coach makes a nice stop there. Devin Skelton working third, Noah Wiggins at first. Their head coach is the pitching coach, Jamie Habiger. No balls and 2 strikes now on Daly. He has flown out to center and struck out his last time up. Miller winds and delivers. Outside, couldn't get him to offer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defensively, the Sodbusters have Jude Greaves at first, Chase Miller at second base. Third baseman's Brock Cross, the shortstop Jaden Shabry. Marcus Miller, after rubbing the rosin bag, is back atop the hill and is set to go for a 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 out, 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. And it'll be Ty Farwell trying to keep Hastings from another 1-2-3 inning.
Did we mention how good Marcus's fastball is, too? That's the fastball getting the swing and the miss there. You're likely thinking the curveball's coming too close to take. 7 punch-outs now for Mr. Miller.
Farwell, a double and a run scored in the 2nd, a single in the 4th. Takes a curveball right across the outside corner for strike 1. A set down 6 in a row now. The last man in the 4th, all 3 in the 5th, and the first 2 here in the 6th. 0-2 delivery. Taken upstairs. and you have access to Flight Scope. It feels like Marcus is throwing it a little faster today on his fastball.
It looks like the numbers for him so far, he's topping out at about 80, but sitting around the 78 range.
1-1 pitch is grounded to the left side. The third baseman's got it. The set, the throw in time. Brock Cross, another good-looking infielder for this Hastings team, and OAHE's gone in order in the 6th. It's still 4-2 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Hastings looking to add some insurance. They lead at 4-2. They'll be batting the bottom of the order. Greaves, Hannaford, and Miller against Jackson Cornett. Cornett from Fullerton College came in for Bryce Van de Woesteen, and pretty sure that was just a pitch count thing. Van de Woesteen had completed 25 pitches, and you saw Jamie Habiger immediately come out here in the Independence League. If you throw under 30, you can throw again tomorrow, and they may be kind of planning for the week, making sure that he could go if they need him tomorrow, and that's part of the summer ball as you try to manage games here in college. Sometimes you just play the weekend series, maybe you have one midweek game, but here in the Independence League, you may be playing every day for 7 in a row. Sodbusters had the unplanned day off on Monday, but a lot of times you have to really keep an eye on pitch count to make sure you've got the arms to make it through a stand.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, no Zap pitcher has pitched more than 3 innings, and for Milwaukee, not too loaded of a week for them. Besides this 3-game series, they get Friday off. Got a Saturday and Sunday game against Fremont, and then they're off until Wednesday. So unlike the Sodbusters, they've got quite a few days off in the stretch here.
Jude Greaves tries to find his stroke as he takes strike 1. No balls and 1 strike on Jude, who struck out twice so far today. Right-handed pitcher Jackson Cornett against the right-handed hitter Jude Greaves, playing first base today. Takes it high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a nifty defensive play on a ground ball to first. Threw to second to get the out there, the middle runner, in one of the run-scoring innings for this OAHE Zap team. Here's the pitch. Taken upstairs for ball 2, 2-1 on Jude Greaves. Greaves coming into today 0 for 5, 0 for 3 in the opener, 0 for 2 in the third game. Did have a stolen base. He didn't play in the spring for Metro Community College, Kansas City. 2-1. Cornett brings it home, and it's fouled down the right field line, 2-2 on Jude Greaves. First man to bat here in inning number 6. It'll be Hannaford and Miller. That would be Chase Miller, not to be confused with Marcus Miller, starting pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters, who's thrown 87 pitches through his 6 innings of work. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, went after 1 out of the zone, and it's a struggle right now for Jude Greaves, who goes down on strikes for the 3rd straight time. The 3rd straight Sodbuster to strike out, as Cornett's come in and struck out the first 2 guys he's faced.
Each Zap pitcher of the 3 now with 2 strikeouts each. Greaves with 3 of them, and a little bit tough as a hitter when you face a different pitcher 3 times in a row. Just tough to put down the timing of those pitchers, with you seeing a different arm every time.
Here's Jet Hannaford, and Hannaford takes inside for a ball. He had a fielder's choice grounder in the 2nd, a fly out to center in inning number 4. We're in the 6th, a fairly brisk moving ball game, particularly after the 2nd and 3rd games of that series for a couple of different reasons. Basically, the teams played in the rain on Saturday as the pitch across for a strike, so it was really tough for the pitchers to get a handle on things. And then game 3 against Spearfish. Got a pretty good start, but bringing some different bullpen guys who struggled to find the zone, and that turned into a long old day at the ballpark, some 375 pitches. As this pitch is outside for ball 2, 2 balls, and 1 strike on Jet Hannaford. Hastings Sodbusters looking for a 4-0 start as they bat here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. It's Steve Stein, Ryan Valenta. Connor and Noah running the show from a production standpoint. Line drive, right side, base hit. Jet Hannaford is aboard. For the second time, his first hit, he's 1 for 3 for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Doing a good job of going to the opposite field when necessary. So easy for some hitters just to get locked in and trying to put the hardest swing on a baseball you can. Great hitters, especially in summer teams, know where to place baseballs with their swings, like Hannaford did right there. Another ball hit 85 miles an hour or harder by the Sodbusters tonight.
And congratulations to Jet Hannaford, his first Sodbuster hit. Chase Miller to the plate now. He's 0 for 2, batting in the 9 spot. And takes a pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 on Chase Miller, another Saginaw Valley Stater. Played in 10 games in the spring for the Cardinals. Hoping to get some more at-bats here in the summer campaign for the Hastings Sodbusters with a couple of his college teammates alongside. Throw over to first base and back in safely is Jet Hannaford. A stolen base threat over there for the Hastings Sodbusters. They have liked to run so far. Hannaford had a stolen base back in the season openers. Hastings had 10 stolen bases on opening day. Ended up winning that contest 5-1 against Spearfish. So OAHE providing the opposition for a 3-game series now. 1-0 delivery right across for a strike. 1-1 with Drew Vega waiting on deck. Left to at least get a runner in scoring position and see if Vega can bring him home. With his newfound RBI prowess from a leadoff position. He's just found himself in situations where runners have been aboard and has delivered. 1-1 delivery. And this one is hit in the air to right field. That's a base hit. Runners will be at first and second and only 1 man out for the aforementioned Drew Vega. Chase Miller has his first Sodbuster single.
Bottom of the lineup getting some action on the hit column. Now 8 hits for the Sodbusters to this inning. And like you said, perfect spot for the top of the order to come up.
Vega, Shabry, and Jarvis trying to deliver more runs. Hastings trailed 1-0 after 1.5, but 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Saw a OAHE battle for 1 run in the 4th. That's where we stand now in the bottom half of inning number 6. Hastings 4 and a OAHE 2. Cornett out of the stretch. Check of the runners. Takes his time and brings it home. Drew Vega first pitch swinging. Lines it foul on top of the OAHE dugout. No balls, 1 strike on Drew Vega. Arkansas Tech, a regional tournament qualifier. The GAC champs in the regular season. Advancing on to one of the Central Plains, one of the Central Regionals at NCAA Division II tournament competition. Runners go. Pitch in the turf, and the Sodbusters are going to get a double steal. We told you about the aggressive nature. Hannaford now at 3rd, Miller at 2nd, 2 in scoring position, and a 1-1 count on Drew Vega.
Perfect time to do it. Somehow, Josh Printer picks the perfect pitch to do it on, and a pitch that spikes into the turf. No shot for Cadena to throw anybody out.
So maybe a chance at 2 runs batted in if Vega can line one to the outfield with good speed on the bases in Hannaford and Miller. 1-1 deliver from Cornett. Bouncing ball, a dribbler on the infield, and this one will scoot foul. It'll be 1-2 on Drew Vega. Mentioned Arkansas Tech, a NCAA Division II tournament qualifier. Central Missouri State ended up winning the Central Region Super Regional and moving on to the NCAA 2 World Series. 1-2 with 1 out, bottom half of inning number 6. Sodbusters leading at 4-2. Of course, the D1 Big Show gets underway this weekend. 64 teams strong. A lot of Arkansas products on this Hastings team, so I'm sure there's a lot of Razorback fans going to be interested in that regional down in Fayetteville as the pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a lot of folks in this region are going to be paying attention to that. Kansas and Creighton, 2 of the teams down at Fayetteville, and I think North Dakota State, the other team, down at the Arkansas Regional. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runners at second and third. Cornett brings it home. Bouncing ball left side but foul. Josh Printer calmly gets it on 2 hops. Good early returns for Josh Printer. Love his demeanor. Feels like he's been doing it for years. Very young coach, just getting his feet wet in the spring at his home college in Arkansas. Now running the show here for the Sodbusters this year. 2-2 pitch, and this one a bouncer to the right side. That'll get a run home. Only play is the first baseman stepping on the bag. Ludvigsen, really good job for Drew Vega to put it in a position where he can bring home a run, and the Sodbusters do lead at 5-2. Miller advances to third after Hannaford scores. It'll be Jaden Shabry trying to bring home an additional run for the Sodbusters.
Just another great piece of hitting. Drew Vega knows where to hit the baseball, especially down in the count there. Just put it in play to the opposite side where your base runner is, and another run coming home.
And here's Shabry, who had a big triple in the last outing. Swing and a miss here. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play. Shabry broke onto the scene with a 3 for 6 day against Spearfish. 2 runs batted in and a run scored. After his first game, he went 1 for 3, so really good first couple of games for the Sodbusters. Didn't play in the middle of the game of that series. Pitch is in there for strike. He's down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Jaden Shabry for the Hastings Sodbusters. 5-2 Hastings here in the bottom half of inning number 6 as Cornett brings it home. Bouncing ball left side. Third baseman charges. It's by him and into left field. Everybody's going to be safe. It almost has to be a hit. We'll see what they rule. Shabry can really run. Ty Farwell tried to grab it between hops, but we will see the official call there. Miller scores. The Sodbusters lead at 6-2, and the inning continues.
The official ruling is that the Sodbusters' lead is now 4. Yeah, that's a good question there. Do or die play for Farwell with the speed of Shabry. I would almost elect for base hit there.
Ryan Jarvis trying to continue the inning. We'll see if they turn Shabry loose. He is not getting a good read there as he was heading back to first on that pitch, and it's outside, or excuse me, it's in there to Ryan Jarvis. 1 strike to count on Ryan, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored for the Hastings Sodbusters. So 3 2-run innings on the day, and looking for more here in inning number 6. Cornett roughed up in his second inning of work. Takes his time, brings home the pitch. Jarvis lines it foul, back to the netting. Count 2 strikes on Ryan Jarvis. Cornett trying to get out of this with no more damage done. Bottom of the order getting it done. Single for Hannaford, single for Miller. Then Vega with the RBI ground out. Shabry getting aboard. So they turned the order over to Vega. Shabry and Jarvis now batting in the 2 and 3 spots. Throw over to first, and Shabry back in safely. Shabry's really looked good at the shortstop spot. He's also played third base here in the early going for the Hastings Sodbusters. We've seen really decent defense up and down the line. Pitch is missing for a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, in this park, you like to basically have 3 center fielders out there if you can, because there's a lot of room to cover. And the infield has looked exceptional here in the first 4 games for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cornett throws over to first. Shabry dives back in safely. Hastings Sodbusters looking to extend the lead here, already 2 home, and have grabbed a 4-run lead, their biggest advantage of the day. Cornett brings it home, and ball taken a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ryan Jarvis, one of the leaders for Saginaw Valley in the spring. Certainly the leader for the Hastings Sodbusters last summer. Despite the fact he didn't play much on his college team, but seemed to step right in, and a natural outfielder, natural infielder, and was a big-time hitter for the Sodbusters a season ago. 2-2 pitch is foul back.
Good battle by Jarvis and the Sodbusters since Cornett came on 7 batters ago. Haven't seemed to be bothered by a little bit of extra velocity. Cornette about 85 to 86 on his fastball and his slider about 10 miles an hour slower, but the fastest guy we've seen on the mound all day.
Another 2-2 pitch going to be coming. Shabry maybe another step over at first. Does not go, and the 2-2 pitch is high, and now Shabry one way or the other is going to be off with the pitch with 3-2 and 2 outs. So Jarvis, a long battle here, working at full. And at this point, it looks like they're still going to hold Shabry on. Don't want to see him get too big of a lead and that run, even with a 3-2 and 2 out situation. Cornette brings it home. Ball 4. The inning continues as Weston Johnston will try to make that 2-out walk hurt. Shabry in scoring position now. Jarvis at first, and Johnston will come to the plate. He's reached on an error twice. He's also singled in the game. He's scored 2 times for the Hastings Sodbusters. They did call an error on the grounder from Shabry, so no hit for him, as he is now at second base. Also no RBI for Shabry. Runners at first and second at 2 men out. And can Weston Johnston keep it going? Weston Johnston, Arkansas Tech guy, 3 hits in the first 3 games for the Sodbusters. We mentioned 1 for 3 today. As he is now 4 for 13 during his time, including a multi-hit game, that coming in the season opener, a 5-1 victory on Friday. Righty-righty matchup, and the pitch is down low for a ball. Pitch count mounting here in the first appearance for Cornette. As he came in last inning, previous pitcher threw 25 pitches. Cornette all the way up to 36 already. Check of the runners, and Cornette brings it home. High and outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 7th man to bat in the inning. It started calmly enough with a strikeout of Greaves, but then single, ground out, error, walk. Sodbusters trying to tack on to a 6-2 lead against OAHE, a team they beat 10 times without a loss a year ago. Swing and a miss. Foul tip actually into the glove of the catcher. Codina, 2-1 the count on Weston Johnston. Josh Printer coaches at third base. Corey Caranda locked into his normal spot at first after he missed the first couple of games for Hastings. Scott Galusha filling in admirably. 2-1 pitch, and this one out of the zone, but Johnston goes after it, and it's 2-2.
Good slider there. It seemed like Cornette had been sticking with fastball most of this at-bat. That puts a hitter in a tough spot here, not knowing what they're going to get with a 2-strike count.
A lot of different guys getting some playing opportunity for Hastings over the first 4 games in a variety of positions as well. 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's down low for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the runners will be off with the pitch here. That's kind of one of the things by nature about the first 7 or 10 games. You're going to see pretty much even at bats for a lot of the guys till they figure out your strengths and weaknesses, and then you're probably going to see a more stable lineup for a few weeks. 3-2 with 2 outs. Runners take off. The pitch, line to right field. That's a base hit. A run will score. It's an RBI single from Johnston. Runners will be at the corners, and the Sodbusters get 2-out production from Weston Johnston, and they take a 7-2 lead.
Another dude who has been dynamite for Hastings so far. The hit and run with the 3-2 count proves effective as well. Shabry can walk home, and Jarvis goes first to third. And OAHE in a world of hurt now with a 3-run 6th inning.
Jamie Habiger comes out, and I think he is going to take the ball from Jackson Cornette, who has a tough first outing. And that will do it for him. A pitching change will be made. Sodbusters 7, Zap 2, and we'll have a pitching change after this. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbusters continuing this bottom of the sixth. They've scored 3 already, and they'll get a look at a left-hander, Brady Glenn, out of Simpson University. He's actually in his 3rd year with OAHE. Last season, he went 2-6, a 7.19 ERA, made 17 appearances through 51 and a third innings, allowed 53 runs, 41 of those earned, allowed 75 hits, struck out 28 and walked 21. This season, 1 appearance, 2 and a third innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 hits, a strikeout and 2 walks, an ERA of 9.0. And he tries to finish this inning as Luke Causey will try to keep it going. All Luke's done today is hit a 2-run home run here at Duncan Field. He's also singled. He's 2 for 3, a strikeout in his other at-bat. But an electric moment to begin this game for the Sodbusters in the second as Luke Causey set it over the right field wall at spacious Duncan Field. 7-2, Hastings on top, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, adding 3 more here in the sixth, and that also gives you more comfort in sending Marcus Miller back out there. 87 pitches thrown for him, but he has been dynamite the last 2 innings in particular, throwing just 7 and 13 pitches in a pair of 1-2-3 innings. So Glenn now faces Causey in a lefty-lefty matchup. Big swing, ball gets away. It will allow the first base runner to advance. No chance for Jarvis to come home, but Johnston will take second base on the wild pitch. 2 in scoring position for Causey and a 7-2 lead here in the bottom of the sixth. 1-0 the count on Luke. Stands in that left-handed box. And the pitch. Right in there for a strike. It's Luke Causey down to the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. Brady Glenn trying to come in and finish the Sodbusters off here in inning number 6. Glenn taking his time, brings it home. Missed on the curveball, out of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luke Causey. Sodbusters 7, Zap 2. 3 errors in the game for the Zap. Sodbusters have been really good defensively in this one. Not an error committed, and some really fine defensive plays out there for Hastings. 1-2 delivery for Glenn. Same place, and another called ball 2. 2-2 the count on Luke Causey. Causey, a 2-run home run, an RBI single, so 3 runs batted in for him on the day. And it's a 2-2 pitch. Takes it the other way and fouls it off. It remains 2-2 on Luke Causey. Another Arkansas Tech guy. Listed as a 2-way player. We've not seen him pitch yet. We'll see if he has that in him as the summer progresses. But hard to take his bat out of the lineup at this point. 2-2 pitch on the way. Way outside, 3-2. Another 3-ball count in this inning. It has drug on a bit. As went 3-2 to Jarvis before he walked, 3-2 to Johnston before he kept it going with an RBI single, and now 3-2 to Luke Causey from the new pitcher, Brady Glenn. Runners at second and third. Hastings already with a 5-run lead, trying to blow it open here. Curveball just misses. He threw 3 of those same pitches, which just broke away. I don't think Glenn's terribly pleased with the call, but it's a walk, and the Sodbusters will have him full for Brock Cross.
Just an excellent take on the breaking ball downstairs. Takes a lot of guts as a pitcher to go with the breaking ball with the full counts, and even more guts by a hitter to recognize that pitch and lay off the pitch in the turf.
Brock Cross getting his first Sodbuster hit back in the second innings. Followed that up being hit by a pitch and striking out. Swings at that same curveball. It was breaking in and down to him, and he could not lay off. No balls and a strike to Brock Cross. Had an outstanding senior year. Told you yesterday and heard Scott Galusha talk about Brock and his home run capability. 7 home runs to lead the state of Arizona. Pitch is missing for a ball. If you're the best home run hitter in high school ball in Arizona, you could play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brock Cross. Had a tremendous RBI year for him, and he was a good pitcher. Another guy that, okay, can we throw this guy? Now, he's going to be going D1 to Washington State. Here's a line drive left field. That's going to fall for a hit. A run will score. Here comes a second run home. Sodbusters trying to go first to third. They'll get it done. And taking second on the throw is Brock Cross. It's a 2-run single for Cross. The Sodbusters lead it 9-2 as they have broken it open, and they'll try to continue the inning still with second and third and 2 men out.
Another example of just perfect Duncan Field hitting. And with 2 outs, runner is able to get an easy read on that. Brock Cross with his second hits and having himself a day with his first pair of hits.
Officially, they gave Brock Cross a double, but could be a single, could be a double. I guess we'll go double. And 2 runs come across. A big swing, no contact for Jude Greaves. Greaves at the plate now. One way or the other, it's the 10th hit for the Sodbusters, who now have 9 runs on the board and 2 more in scoring position here for the Hastings Sodbusters. The pitch. Beauty right across the outside corner. Got that curveball to stay in the zone that time. Jude Greaves down in the count. It's been a tough time here for Jude as he's trying to avoid being the second out of this inning, and he struck out earlier in the frame. 0-2 delivery and a swing and a miss, and that is the case here for Jude Greaves. It's Sodbusters in the frame, but what an inning it was as they played 5, and they now lead it 9-2 as we head to the 7th. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Sodbusters with a good go in the 6th inning as they end up plating 5 runs, and they get them across on 4 hits. There was an error, and the Sodbusters would end up stranding 1 before it was all said and done. But what a job for Hastings. The Sodbusters now lead it 9-2, 9 runs, 10 hits. The Zap with 2 runs on 4 hits. And Marcus Miller back out there looking to try to get 100 pitches out of him. And how about 7 innings today for Marcus? You think, okay, 5, 6. Every pitcher to me in the starting role has exceeded expectations as they kind of have an idea of what you're going to get out of them for that first. But really, Hastings has gotten tremendous performances in their first 4 starts to set the stage for the rest of this homestand.
Yeah, if Marcus can complete this inning, he'd be the second Sodbuster in this opening homestand, second left-handed starter to complete 7 innings, and the streak continues of a starter lasting at least 5 innings in all 4 games.
Here's Noah Codina, the starting catcher, swings and misses. The second left-handed starter from Adams County to go 7 innings if he could do this.
And in Hastings, for that matter, too. Let's get even smaller.
Yes. Here's the pitch, and this one is lined to left field for a base hit. Good approach there for Noah Codina as he gets his first hit of the game. Rifling that one into left field as he becomes the first guy other than Farwell and Goldberg to get a hit. The rest of the lineup had gone hitless in the day, and here's one of those guys, Connor Goldberg, who is the beer batter, and they picked wrong today. 2 for 2 for Connor Goldberg, and 2 runs batted in with a double and a single.
Looks like Marcus wants a new baseball in that last pitch, so looking back at the replay of it, The catcher Johnston set up outside, was looking for the breaking ball. He left it middle, and good hitters are going to put the good knock on that. Like you said, just the third different Zap player to get a hit tonight.
Sodbusters in command in this one, 9-2. Trying to go to 4-0 as the pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Goldberg. Connor Goldberg out of Saracoso Community College in California. Saw a lot of Saracoso guys on Spearfish as their head coach is the head coach for Spearfish. So Saracoso sending a lot of guys to the Independence Leagues. The pitch across for strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. We've got the 5 regular teams, Casper, Hastings, Spearfish, Fremont, and OAHE, and then the 3 travel teams, the Nebraska Prospects, the Plainsmen, and the Bison. Hard hit ball, center field. Vega on his horse makes the catch. That carried pretty well here at Duncan Field. Goldberg nearly had his 3rd hit of the day. Instead, it's allowed out to center field. 1 on and 1 out for Sato.
Yeah, that's a Duncan Field flyout right there. Vega, I think he got a little bit surprised on how far that baseball was actually going. Saw him jogging back at first and then turned into a full sprint for a brief second and able to run it down for the first out of the inning.
This will be Trey Runge pinch hitting, the Southwest Baptist University product. He is 1 for 6 on the year as he'll bat here for Sato. So we get our first look tonight at Trey Runge. Trey Runge, pinch hitter for the OAHE Zap. Right-hander against the left-handed pitcher Marcus Miller. 1 on, 1 out, 9-2. Sodbusters in the 7th. This one hit high in the air, short left field, and the left fielder will call off the shortstop. Is coming up to make the grab is Jet Hannaford. No problem for him. 1 pitch and an out for the pinch hitter Runge, and 2 men out for the bottom of the order, Montillo.
They'll take an out in any fashion this late in the game, especially on first pitches with weak contact. Miller's fastball average has dipped a little bit. He's sitting about 76 to 78 now, and he was sitting around 79 and 80.
Emiliano Montillo 0 for 2, a fly out to right and a ground out. He watches the first pitch go by for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. There's activity in the Sodbuster pen, and you wonder if this is going to be it regardless for Marcus Miller. As his pitch count getting up there a bit, approaching 100. 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him. No balls and 2 strikes. And you can say 78 miles an hour blew it by him, but that's certainly what happened.
He was late on it.
Montillo could not catch up with that one, and you bring a few more miles after you throw a 65-mile-an-hour curveball. That's what's going to happen. 0-2 delivery. Oh, called strike 3. It just took an extra second there for Braxton Art. And I think he was just selling a little bit slower on the pitch, a little bit slower on the call. And if that is the end for Marcus Miller, he closes with the flourish. A strikeout looking for Montillo. As head of the bottom half of inning number 7. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. It's 9-2 Sodbusters, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
At the bottom half of the 7th inning, good go for the Hastings Sodbusters. They break this baby open with 5 runs in the 6th. They now lead it 9-2, and they'll have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up there against the left-hander who came in to get the final out of that last frame as Brady Glenn, be out there after he was able to finish things up. Brady Glenn ended up throwing, well, he faced 3 batters and threw 13 pitches in his first go. Already 4 pitchers for OAHE. And again, for the The trend continues. Hastings using fewer pitchers than their opponents for the most part this year, getting to the bullpen and being able to get good starts from their starters, and that's the case again as Jet Hannaford will step in. He's 1 for 3. A single and a run scored. He also stole a base as part of a double steal last inning for Hastings. Glenn brings it across for strike one. 1 strike on Jet Hannaford. Hastings plating 5 runs on 4 hits in the 6th inning. Took advantage of the 3rd error of the day. Very easily could have been 5 runs on 5 hits. 0-1 delivery. That's in the turf. 1-1 the count. It's artificial turf on the infield, including around home plate and on the pitcher's mound. And then natural grass on the outfield. But that turf allowing you to play a lot of baseball when your dirt infield would prohibit it, and we played basically a game mostly in the rain on Saturday. Wasn't pleasant for the players. Hardy fans sticking it out. Sodbusters able to win that game and come from behind fashion with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. And then took a big lead over Spearfish on Sunday and won that game 12-9 as Spearfish came back. The off day yesterday due to wet weather. Pitch across for strike 1-2 on Hannaford. And OAHE, who had a travel day, in town now after they went 1-2 against Casper, the defending Independence League champs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the first man here in inning number 7. Bouncing ball to the left side. Third baseman's got it. The set. The throw. Wild throw and a huge collision, and hopefully everybody is okay. Man, oh man. That was just a terrible collision. Quinn Ludvigsen gets to his feet, and Jet Hannaford is up and okay apparently as well, as the throw from Ty Farwell pulled his first baseman off, and basically Jet Hannaford did a somersault over Ludvigsen. Whew. Happy to see both guys get up after that.
Yeah, Ludvigsen was face down for a couple of seconds. Looked like Hannaford got the least of it. He was able to get up right away and check on his opponents at first base. It never feels good also as the person throwing that baseball too, and I wondered if I would have just thrown it on target, it wouldn't have happened. But like you said, fortunately it looks like everybody's okay to continue.
4th error of the game now for Spearfish, and a runner at first, nobody out for Chase Miller. Miller singled and scored his last time up. The Sodbusters getting some tack-on runs with 2 outs. Runner goes on the first pitch, throw down to second base, nowhere close. Hannaford is going to get up but not try to test the arm. And how about that? Hannaford, involved in the huge collision, sent him on the first pitch. Apparently he's okay.
Now, the throw actually hit him going down there and redirected the baseball. It got away from the middle infielders, but not quite far enough to advance another base.
Hastings continues to be very aggressive early in the season, as Josh Printer not afraid to put the running game in play. And that's a throw was way offline, as the pitch is just missing. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Chase Miller, trying to bring Hannaford in from second. Try to check the new shortstop, because they did pinch hit for him. 1-1 delivery. And the pitch is outside for a ball. 3 balls and no strike, as Runge did come in and he pinch hit and is now in the game at shortstop. 9-2, the Hastings Sodbusters with the lead and looking for more. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball, third baseman, it's off his chest. A set, a throw to first in time. Nice bounce back there for Farwell, who threw that last play away. It looked like he was going to have issues there as well, but was able to throw out Miller, and we're back to the top of the order with Drew Vega trying to bring home an additional run.
Chance for redemption right there for Farwell, and does make up there. The always important first out of the inning, but you got to go through the top of the Sodbuster order.
Yep, 1 out, 1 on, 1 out. The error and the ground out here in inning number 6. Runner goes, throw down to third, and it is not going to be in time. Another stolen base for Jet Hannaford, so he's in scoring position. With less than 2 outs, Drew Vega could do what he did the last time, just a ground ball to the right side to perhaps plate another run. Sodbusters already on top, 9-2, looking to add more in the home half of the 7th. Brady brings it home. Low for a ball. But the aggressiveness of this Sodbuster team. More stolen bases today. They were already in double digits in that category and have stolen 5 more today. 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2 now on Drew Vega. Vega 1 for 3. Single and a stolen base in the 4th. An RBI ground out in the 6th. Brady brings it home and stays outside with this and goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Vega. Glenn already throwing 23 pitches since he came out of the pen. His pitch count mounting. It was Aracha getting the start. He goes 2 2/3, and now they're on their 4th pitcher of the day. Vega lines it into right field. Making the grab is the right fielder. Tagging and coming home to score will be Hannaford. So good fundamental baseball there. Reaching on an error. Stolen base, sac flies. Drew Vega brings home his 2nd run in as many at-bats. The catch was made by Connor Goldberg, but had no chance to gun down Hannaford, and the Sodbusters in double digits in runs and score and hits now as it's 10-2.
How about that? Another multi-RBI game for Drew Vega, already halfway to his RBI season total in 4 games of last year.
As Jaden Shabry tries to get his first hit of the day. Had an either-or play going against him the last time, so he is officially 0 for 4 and fouls the first pitch back. No balls and 1 strike on Shabry. Trying to continue the inning with the bases empty and 2 outs. Another run across for the Sodbusters as they get the tack-on runs in the 6th and the 7th innings to make it more comfortable down the stretch. There is no action in the Hastings bullpen. Either the new reliever is ready or they are going to bring Marcus Miller back out there. He was shy of 100 pitches. You can start a new inning as long as you're not at 100 pitches. No new batter after 110. They may try to get another inning out of him. We'll have to see what the plan is. Here's the delivery. Curveball drops in there. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jaden Shabry.
Can actually see Marcus Miller standing at the very edge of the dugouts and standing up, walking back and forth. I'm leaning towards he might be hankering for one more.
High fly ball, left field, no problem for Montillo, and that'll end the Hastings half of the 7th inning. But they get a run on no hits, 1 error, and nobody left. We head to the 8th. We'll hear from Ryan when we come back. It's 10-2. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Into the 8th inning, the Hastings Sodbusters have a 10-2 lead. And to take you home, here's Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. Sodbusters taking advantage of some timely hitting to have that 5-run 6th inning to double their lead. And look who, that's Marcus Miller still on the mound just when we thought his day might be over. He sprinted back out onto the bump for his potential 8th inning of work here. 96 pitches for Marcus. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. A mark for him that he was not able to accomplish in the spring season for Hastings College, but another opportunity to face the top of the lineup. So how pitch counts works is once Miller hits 110 pitches, you can't start a new batter after that. And there is now right-handed action getting hot in the Hastings bullpen, with this assuredly being Marcus's last inning. Called a strike on the inside corner. Top of the order for the fourth time this evening. Gavin Frazier's 0 for 3 rather. He's popped out to second. He's tried to bunt for a base hit and also had a swinging bunt ground out. Hasn't hit it high. Check swing, doesn't matter. Called a strike anyway by Braxton Arndt. 1-2 to Gavin Frazier. Came into today's game 3 for 6, but hitless today. The lefty just misses on the outside corner. Looked pretty good. And our flight scope says just a bit outside. Miller bidding for the strikeout there, but will have to throw. Another pitch here. This is number 101. Up high and gets away from the catcher, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sodbusters with the 8-run lead. Trying to put another 0 on the scoreboard here in the top of the 8th. OAHE's last run came in the 4th inning. Miller at one point had set down 7 straight. He set down 10 of the last 11. Make it 11 of the last 12. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Frazier thought he had ball 4. And it looks like, according to our flight scope technology, Miller may have gotten a call there. That's punch out number 9 of the game.
Got to be swinging it that close, and we'll see a pinch hitter coming up for OAHE as Alexander Jackson is going to step to the plate here.
Alexander Jackson appearing in 1 game for OAHE so far and is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Second pinch hitter that the Zap have used this evening. The other one flew out on the only pitch that he saw. Jackson right across for strike 1. Alexander Jackson, a North Aurora, Illinois native. Just finished up his freshman year at Greenville University, where he only appeared in 1 game but did not have an at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the man he's hitting for, Andrew Phillips, will finish his day 0 for 3. Pitch 104 on the outside corner for strike 2. Well, for Marcus, now that after he completed 7 innings after last frame, the 6th time that he's completed 7 innings or more in a Sodbuster uniform. This is only the 2nd time he has gone more than 7 innings in his 3-year Sodbuster career. Another called strike 3 on the outside corner on a fastball, back-to-back backwards Ks, and that is double-digit punch-outs for Marcus Miller. Have yourself a night.
And with the way it works out, pitch 107, so he can actually begin this next batter, has a chance to finish the 8th if he can get this guy, would likely be lifted if he cannot get Ludvigsen.
Quinn Ludvigsen stands in the way of Marcus Miller and 8 complete innings here at Duncan Field. Ludvigsen part of that scary collision at first base last inning between him and Jet Hannaford, but batting today 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. The breaking ball, that one called a ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. According to our flight scope, Miller back up to his normal velocity this inning, right at 80 miles an hour on these fastballs. The lefty against the lefty, bends in there for strike 1 on the curveball. OAHE, a team that on offense in 3 games has walked 20 times and struck out 25 times. Very disproportionate tonight. High and tight on the pitch to make it 3 balls and 1 strike, and that is pitch number 110 right here. So this will be the last batter that Miller can face. Can he finish off this hitter with a 3-1 count? Ludvigsen watches ball 4 go by on the breaking ball, and putting a dampening on the end of the night for Marcus Miller, but nonetheless, tip your hat to the left-hander. His first start of the season, 7 2/3 innings, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Head coach Josh Printer points to the bullpen as Miller has maxed out on his pitch counts. Get some high fives from his teammates all across the mound. Another sensational start in the Sodbuster career of Marcus Miller. A round of ovation for the fans here at Duncan Field as Miller departs the dugout. We'll have a new Hastings pitcher. We'll take a short break on Sodbuster Baseball. I'll be back in a few.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball. The Sodbusters going to the bullpen for the first time this evening. Starter Marcus Miller's day is done after his pitch count limit of 110 pitches. He goes 7 2/3 innings, and on for the second time this year is Chase Phillips, a Central Nebraska native from Aurora. Just finished up his spring season at Metropolitan Community College as a freshman, a guy who is listed as a two-way player who has done two-way action for the Sodbusters on for the first time since Saturday. Swing and a miss, back pick to first, back in safely is Ludvigsen. Jake Daly at the plate, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. For Chase Phillips, went 3 1/3 innings in relief against Spearfish on Saturday. That was the walk-off winner for Hastings. Phillips ended up giving up the go-ahead run in the 9th inning and was charged with the blown save. But his team is back in the bottom of the 9th to get the 7-6 win. 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts in Phillips' season debut 3 days ago. 1-1. Nice breaking ball drops down in there for strike number 2 to Jake Daly. Designated hitter came into today's game 4 for 12, but a goose egg in the hit column tonight. And it'll stay that way with the gas, strikes him out. Chase Phillips comes on and blows away the only man he's assigned to face, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Sodbusters looking for any more insurance runs, up by 8, looking to win their 4th straight at Duncan Field.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is once again a new pitcher on for the OAHE Zap, as they will send on Braxton Plemons, another Bethany College guy who's appeared in 1 game already so far this season. A 0 ERA in an inning and 2/3, allowed 2 hits, did allow 2 unearned runs, walked 1, and struck out 2. Against him in the bottom of the 8th inning for Hastings will be Ryan Jarvis, Weston Johnston, and Luke Causey. Well, the Sodbusters will have at least an 8-run lead going into the 9th inning, looking for their 4th consecutive win to stay undefeated, but some more wouldn't hurt to get some insurance in the bottom of the 8th. In 6 innings for the Bethany Swedes in the spring, had a 3.75 ERA in 12 innings pitched. Struck out 6 batters in his freshman year. The freshman from Lakeland, Florida. Yeah, there's a lot of lakes in that land called Florida for sure. Appropriate name for a Florida city. Ryan Jarvis set to lead things off for the Sodbusters. The 3 spot in the lineup and the 5th time through the Hastings lineup this evening. The first pitch on the way. High fly ball to center field. And out there is the center fielder making the catch for out number 1. Andrew Phillips was the original center fielder for OAHE, but he was pinch hit for, so we'll have to see if he is still the center fielder. Nonetheless, the man out there makes the play. So 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch. Weston Johnston, the next to bat for the Sodbusters. First pitch in there for strike 1 on the inside corner. Good day for Johnston. Multi-hit game with a couple of singles. He's also reached on a couple of errors. Johnston yet to be retired by the Zap. Catches the call on the outside corner fastball. And it's 0-2. Johnston with a hit on Sunday. He was walked 3 times on Saturday. And had a multi-hit game in the season opener on Friday. Well outside to make it 1-2. And according to Game Changer, Phillips is still out there, but I don't think that's actually Phillips.
Not unless you can re-enter, which you can't. So, and it's in a 10-2 game, it's awfully easy to miss a change like that. So,
2 balls and 2 strikes on the pitch upstairs to Johnston. He has singled in each of his past 2 plate appearances. 2 for 4 today, off to a nice start for the Hastings Sodbusters. Well, the count has worked full from 0-2 now to 3-2. Johnston already with 5 hits now in the spring season, and the guy on deck, also a pretty nice day for him. Cracked to third off the glove of Ty Farwell, and he will be safe at first base. A rocket shot should be a base hit. If not, that would be a 5th error for OAHE, but you can't hit that any harder there as Farwell just got the brunt of that screaming ground ball there. So Johnson is on nonetheless for the 5th time. It's either his 3rd hit, which it actually is. That's a 3-hit day for Weston Johnson on that laser beam shot. Oh, no, they're pinch hitting Luke Causey.
And people are complaining.
You heard the fans say, oh, come on.
Want to see a 2-home run day at Duncan Field. Don't get greedy. All right.
Well, this instead of Luke Causey, who will end his day 2 for 3 with the first home run in 2 seasons for the Sodbusters, Hunter Doyle looks like we'll get an opportunity here to bat. And Doyle will take strike 1 on a breaking ball.
Tough crowd, and it's nothing personal against Hunter Doyle. He can tell, hey, Mom and Dad, I got booed in my first plate appearance for the Hastings Sodbusters on that night.
Well, this is the 2nd time Doyle's appeared in a game, but the first time at the plate. Checks his swing. They appealed down and did not go. So Doyle pitched on Saturday against Spearfish. Through an inning of scoreless relief, it was a little bit dicey for him. He walked the bases loaded, but was able to escape with no damage done. Takes a big cut and a miss at the 1-2 pitch. Hunter Doyle, a Billings, Montana native, just finished up his freshman campaign at Fort Scott Community College. Hunter Doyle is first at-bat of the season with Johnston at first base. Goes after a pitch low and away for strike 3.
At least they're not booing him now. All right, be nice, fans. That's good. Other scores from the Independence League: Spearfish is leading Fremont in the 8th, 8-4. Casper over Nebraska 4-3 in the 7th.
Okay. Prospects keeping it close against the defending ILB champions. Again, we saw that the Spuds were mortal in the opening game of the season, where they were tagged for 15 runs against this very team on the field, who has only managed 2 against the Sodbusters tonight. 10-2 your score in the series opener. Fly ball, and that will get out of play into the empty bleachers over to our right. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brock Cross. Nice evening for him. Had a single in the 2nd and then a double in the 6th. We originally thought was a single and a taking second on a throw. Officially ruled in game changer as a double. So with that, that is the first double that Hastings has hit all year in their 4th game. Who would have thought they would add a home run before a double?
And 2 triples.
And 2 triples.
Before you get your first double.
Sodbusters hit 2 triples and a homer before their first double, which was a quote-unquote double. 2-1 pitch to Cross. 2 for 3. His other at-bats, a strikeout and a hit by pitch. Just missing outside. Hitters count now on a 3-1 pitch. Same time tomorrow night, 6:35 p.m. start time, or 6:35 here for all games at Duncan Field here in Hastings. Fastball downstairs for ball 4. It's a walk for Brock Cross, and that'll bring up the 7th spot in the lineup. They're going to stick with Jude Greaves here.
I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe just let him kind of clear his mind and give another guy an at-bat, but they are going to let Jude go, and let's see him get a hit.
Well, the Sodbuster left fielder, or the first baseman, already has 4 strikeouts today, and he watches strike 1 go by. So 4 strikeouts in a game is a golden sombrero. 3's a hat trick. 4 is a golden sombrero. I'm not sure what 5 is. I'm pretty sure we've called it once before, but let's hope we don't have to get there. 0-1 outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greaves had a bit of a trouble with the curveball in his early at-bats here with the Sodbusters. And looking for his first hit in a Hastings uniform. Ground ball foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And he shakes his head back and forth. And hopefully, find a way, buddy. Find a way. 5 strikeouts is unfortunate, if nothing else, but still got a chance.
Jude Greaves looking to add some insurance here. He puts it in play to the left side. It's under the glove of the third baseman, and here comes another run. It's just that kind of game for the OAHE Zap. Their 5th error of the game on what should have been the final out of the inning. Ty Farwell cannot make the reception at third base, and Jude Greaves puts it in play. And that leads to the 11th Hastings run here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And I'd say at least it wasn't a strikeout. Good job. Even that, just giving him some contact. Hopefully that'll give him a little confidence as this season wears on.
Weston Johnston comes around from second to score, and Brock Cross will stop at second base. Little float shot in foul territory going over his Ludvigsen off the tip of his glove, but a foul ball. Just out of his reach of making a sensational play in the spacious depths of foul territory here at Duncan. So Jude Greaves officially reaching on an error by the third baseman. Ty Farwell, 5 errors for the Zap this evening to go along with their 5 hits on offense. Hastings even at 11 runs and 11 hits apiece. Jet Hannaford, he sends a high fly ball into very shallow left field. And out there to make the catch is Montillo. Sodbusters add another for good measure. They've scored in the past 3 innings respectively. 3 outs to get for the Sodbusters can continue their undefeated streak. Tune in to the final inning right after this on Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
3 more outs to get here at Duncan Field. Well, the Sodbusters can put a cap on their 4-0 start to the 2025 season. A new pitcher on the mound for the Sodbusters for the first time this season. This is Jacob Boldoin, a left-handed pitcher out of Arkansas Tech University. And the last name, a little tricky, but Canadian last name. Steve, do you want to try and pronounce his hometown?
Not even a little bit.
Saint Jean sur Richelieu, Canada. I'm confident in Saint Jean sur Richelieu, Canada.
Or is it Saint Jean? I mean, we're talking French here.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, so it could be.
You know what?
We're just happy to get Boldoin. All right, he's pitching now.
He is a redshirt freshman. He is a tall customer on the mound, stands at 6'7" and weighs at 230 pounds. He is nothing but a small giant on the mound for the Sodbusters. For the top of the 9th inning,
29.
It's a pinch hitter for the OAHE Zap, and sending in the place of Ty Farwell will be Aiden Johnson. Aiden Johnson has appeared in 1 game for OAHE so far and is 0 for 3. 0-2 just misses up high. Boldoin showing some speed on that pitch. Look to see exactly how fast he's throwing from our flight scope machine here in a couple of pitches. Aiden Johnson has also walked twice, but all 3 of his at-bats have ended in strikeouts so far. OAHE 2 runs on 5 hits. Ty Farwell, the guy that he's batting for, was 2 for 3. So interesting that they go with a pinch hitter here. 2-2, breaking ball outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. After this one is concluded, stick around. We'll have your post-game numbers and get a chance to talk with the likely still undefeated head coach Josh Printer. 3-2, downstairs, ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to Aiden Johnson.
Yeah, Boldoin can bring it. I'm so glad that he actually, we asked how to say his name. He told Scott and then said it out loud for me because I don't think I want him to mispronounce his name if he gets mad because he's a dude. He is a big guy. And we're sorry if we butchered your hometown. We'll figure that out.
Well, and even trying to pronounce his previous schools, it's in French or I was about to say Canadian, which is not a thing.
And don't say anything about the 51st state, man. I'm not going to mess with that. He'll take us out.
Nope, that's not to be messed with right now. Next batter of the inning, Noah Codina, the catcher today, has one of the 5 hits, singled back in the 7th. Broke a streak of 7 straight retired by the Hastings starter Marcus Miller. Boldoin downstairs, and he's missed with 3 straight to make it 3-0.
Well, it's good to see Chase Phillips come in, able to finish off that 8th inning. And again, a game like this, you try to get Boldoin his first, get his feet wet, and it's nice to do that when you're up by 9. There's been years past where you have to bring in a guy, and it's a pressure situation. And Hastings has had a couple of opportunities here early in the season where you can kind of be patient. So hopefully Boldoin will get her figured out.
Yeah, very limited playing time for him at Arc Tech this spring. Finds his own for strike 1. Just 2 appearances. Kind of very spread out as well, month apart in the appearances. 1 game through a third of an inning, 1 game through an inning. There's ball 4 upstairs. Back-to-back walks by Jacob Boldoin. 2 on for OAHE with nobody out in this top of the 9th inning. Fourth walk for Sodbuster pitchers this evening, and most of them have been done by Marcus Miller. And OAHE will also send up another pinch hitter. Mason Lang, the lefty, will bat in the spot of Connor Goldberg. So with this being late in this game and this now being the beer batter spot, this is the soft drink / water batter, as adult beverage sales have ceased for the night already. A sarcastic yay emanates from the Duncan Field crowd on the
It's a tough crowd tonight. I mean, they booed a pinch hitter, and now they're getting on our own pitcher. I mean, you're 3-0. We're not 12-0. You just be happy for everything.
There's a ground ball through the right side. Lang's got a base hit. Coming around second is the pinch runner. Throw goes to third. It's high and not in time. RBI single for Mason Lang, the South Dakota State product, has his second hit of the summer and his first run driven in. So the runner comes around second to score and advancing to third on the play. Also the other pinch runner. So that gives OAHE their first run since the fourth inning to make it an 11-3 game, but still a comfortable 8-run cushion for the Sodbusters. So next up to bat will be Trey Runge, on for his second time. He had a pinch hit appearance back in the seventh inning where he flew out to left on the first pitch. And he takes a called strike one. Lang with the RBI single stands at first base. Another strike right at the knees. Good velo for Boldoin so far, 86-88 on the fastball. And his curveball around 74-76. So the velo won't be the problem. It'll just be the location for Mr. Boldoin, hopefully this season. 0-2 hit on the ground to third base. They'll go to second base. They get the out there. The throw return to first is not quite in time. However, a run does come home to score. It's now 11-4, but that is finally the first out of this ninth inning as Runge grounds into the fielder's choice.
You're just trying to get outs at this point, no problem. Giving up a couple of runs, but get that first out, runner at first, kind of eliminate some of the traffic there, and hopefully that will get Boldoin to settle in.
One of the many Arkansas Tech guys on the team looking for the final two here. Blows the first pitch right by Emiliano Montillo. The 9-hole hitter 0 for 3 today. A flyout, a ground out, and a strikeout. 0-1 pitch. Fly ball to shallow right. And making the catch is Hunter Doyle, the new right fielder. And that is the second out of the inning. The Sodbusters 1 out away from putting the ribbon on this present.
Sodbusters are warming a left-hander, but hoping to finish it off with Boldoin here.
He's only at under 20 pitches now. And that one sprayed out of play down the first base line. No play for Greaves at first base. That pitch right there, number 18 for Boldoin. Again, the mark to come back on no days of rest is 30 if the Sodbusters do need to pitch him tomorrow. But something that they've done a great job in pretty much every game so far this season is limiting the amount of arms they've used, with the exception of Sunday's game. They had to use 5 pitchers. A lot of guys that weren't able to find the zone as well as they would have liked. 1-1 is downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 home for the Zap in this inning, but much too little too late. Two-one from Boldoin. At the knees for strike 2. One more to send this thing in the final books. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gavin Frazier. Fly ball down the right field line. Coming in is Doyle. He will slide, and it's off his body, and a foul ball. Foul ball. The runner's on the run, but just to the right of the line. That one cut a lot of the body of Doyle, but could not make the catch. Frazier will get a swing on the house.
And it's nice when you have an opportunity to just come into the ball game and get 2 chances out there in right field. And also, it's good for the fielders to get some chances here when they get their first opportunities.
That one just went off the screen there at home and had an opportunity. He had to go a feet first slide. With the lights down, there is kind of a dark spot, maybe a little bit of a blind spot in that foul territory of lights down there. But no harm, no foul. Runner at first, the 2-2 pitch. Up high, and the count runs full. For Hastings, just their third pitcher they've used tonight, and their second pitcher they only used for 1 batter. Boldoin trying to end it. We'll see another pitch with the foul ball back to the screen. Couple pitches before, got a message that Boldoin touched 89 miles an hour. So rearing back for some extra in the tank. Can he find the put-away pitch on Gavin Frazier? Right down the middle for strike 3. Ball game over. 4 straight wins to start the Sodbusters 2025 season, and 11 in a row against the OAHE Zap have gone in favor of the Sodbusters as they kick the extra point at second base to celebrate the victory. And Hastings 11-4, the final from pretty much start to finish after the second inning. They fell behind early in this game 1-0, but since then it was all the offense as the Busters put up 11 on 11 hits. We'll talk more about it, the final numbers, and our post-game interview with the head man, Josh Printer, 4-0 to start off his tenure as the Hastings Sodbuster head coach. Be back in a few on Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
The good guys are 4-0 after their 11-4 win over the OAHE Zap on this turning to be quite chilly Tuesday evening. but nobody in the booth cares right now, especially not us. We're here enjoying the 11-4 win in the comfort of our heat-controlled broadcast booth. But what a day for the Sodbusters again. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein on our post-game show. We'll hear from Josh Printer any second now, but the Sodbusters started 3-0 for the first time in program history on Sunday, and they add on another win to make it a 4-0 start for the first time in program history. And anything more wins past this will be first times as well, but they do so on 11 runs and 11 hits. Pitching and hitting were great all around, and after they fell down early 1-0, Steve, they got right back on the horse and responded very well. Not a whole lot to complain about today.
All aspects today. All aspects for the Hastings Sodbusters, beginning with Marcus Miller. Tremendous start for him with plenty of offense behind him. Struggled defensively for OAHE, committing 5 errors on the day, and you just get it up and down the lineup. And the early exclamation point from Luke Causey to give Hastings the lead that they would not relinquish as he sent it out of Duncan Field.
First time since 2023 that's happened. How interesting is that? It happens 3 times in that year, none last year, and here in the 4th game of the 2025 season. Head coach Josh Printer can tell us more about that. Your team accomplished many feats today, including hitting a home run here for the first time since 2023. I want to know from your perspective on the dugout first off, Josh. We thought, nice triple in the alley. What did you guys think in the dugouts? Was that a clear home run ball for you guys?
From my angle, I was more worried about making sure Weston was on his horse. I was trying to make sure we scored that run. But yeah, I mean, I looked up and the outfielders just kind of just gave up on it, so I knew it was gone, and kind of held up Weston. He was like kind of confused, but I was like ended up leaving the yard. So yeah, he just put a great swing on a fastball and just put a great swing on it.
And how special is that? I mean, you've played ball at Duncan Field long enough to know that you haven't seen very many since you've been in Hastings.
Oh, yeah, I think the last one was Nick Jones. Nick Jones ball to right, but just put a great swing on it and didn't have the wind blowing in today and just ended up leaving the yard.
Well, you get your first start of the year from the local guy, Marcus Miller. Gives up the lead briefly in the first. Your offense gives him a couple of runs in the bottom of the second. Seemed like he just rolled after that. I believe this is the second longest outing in a Sodbuster uniform, but he looked awesome tonight. What was working best for him?
Just attacking, staying ahead, getting ahead of kids, and just being able to throw more than one pitch for a strike, I think, with Marcus. But, yeah, just trusting his defense and just going right at kids.
Got through that 4th inning. He'd given up a few runs, but talk a little about the way he really settled in, because I was thinking, okay, get 4, get 5, and then all of a sudden he gets into the 8th and just got pitch limited out. Otherwise, he may probably been able to finish that 8th.
Absolutely. He just ran out of pitches, but all the trust in the world, like you said, just ran out of pitches. But Marcus knew. He knew his pitch count was up. But, yeah, and then we went to Chase right after that and just get a quick just to get out of that inning, and then wanted to see Jacob pitch the 9th there, kind of get his feet wet with a big lead. But he did good. It's especially with being up 9 runs. Don't worry about your individual stats. Focus on the team win and just go right at them.
Well, now that Marcus Miller continued the streak today, all of your starting pitchers have pitched at least 5 innings. And in times in summer baseball where things can go awry quickly, I think that him going a lot of innings and each of your first 4 starters have saved you a lot of trouble in figuring out your pitching plans for the upcoming days. How's that been?
Absolutely. Don't jinx us there, but just making it easy on me. Just whoever I throw out there, they know they got a pretty good leash, and just attacking early and just trusting our defense.
Well, I'll do the same thing. He talked about the pitching. Defense has been great so far. Again, don't want to jinx it, but talk about you've got a lot of options at a lot of different positions. Talk about the depth of your defense so far. It seems like most guys you've thrown out there have been pretty solid.
Absolutely. I mean, we got about 15 plus, a couple two-ways, but feel confident throwing anyone in any position, really. I mean, we have Vega out in center the last 2 games. We can kind of mix around and put anywhere, put a bunch of different looks out there. But I have all the confidence in the world with every single one of them in the dugout to get the job done.
All right, Coach. Well, you're now the first Sodbuster coach to ever start 4-0. How does it feel to go 4-0? And just maybe take a step back and what have you taken away in your first 4 games as the skipper for this team?
Nothing on my part. Just all the testament to the kids. Just keeping everything simple, and they've just been playing really, really hard for me. And I just keep telling them, don't be satisfied. Don't be satisfied, and just stay hungry. Every game, stay hungry. We're not done. Just keep this ship on the right track and keep it going.
He's head coach Josh Printer. 4-0 as the head coach. Thank you, Josh. And man, what a great game for the Sodbusters. We told you about their offense going off. Let's give you the final numbers for both sides before we say farewell for the evening. And it was 6 of their 9 hitters getting in the hit column tonight. Luke Cossey with that 2-run bomb back in the 3rd inning. He goes 2 for 3 with 3 runs driven in. Weston Johnston, another multi-hit game, his 2nd this season, 3 for 5, ends up scoring 4 runs. Drew Vega, Ryan Jarvis had a hit. Brock Cross picked up his first couple of hits as a Sodbuster, also drove in 2 runs. Jet Hannaford with a knock, and Chase Miller also with a knock for the Sodbusters. Marcus Miller goes 7 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, and gets the win in his first start of the season. Chase Phillips gets the only batter he faces on a strikeout, and then Jacob Boldoin pitches the 9th inning, allows a run, couple of runs on a hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So Milwaukee 5 hits for them, 2 hits each for Ty Farwell and the other batter Connor Goldberg, and then the pinch hitter Mason Lang with a hit, and Noah Codina with the other hits. The starter for OAHE, Austin Aracha, takes the loss, going 2 2/3, 4 hits and 4 runs. The pitching staff as a whole allowed 11 hits, 4 walks, but did strike out 8 batters, probably one of the few bright spots for Hawaii. They were getting some hitters to swing and to miss. Well, Steve, it's awesome to start 4-0, but still plenty to improve on. I believe that the Sodbusters are on the right track for Game 2 of this series, though, tomorrow.
It's like I always say, you don't think about 4 in a row, you just think about going 1-0 tomorrow. And I think Josh Printer's in that mode right now. I don't think he's expecting the statue to be built for the only unbeaten manager in Sodbuster franchise history. So just go out and let's see another one tomorrow.
Sodbusters are 4-0. They will look to go to 5-0 tomorrow against this OAHE Zap team. 6:35 p.m. start time. I want to thank you to our producers and our engineer equipment guys, Noah and Connor, next to us, and for myself, Ryan Valenta and Steve Stein, wishing you a happy Tuesday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night for more Sodbuster Baseball. Have a good one.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the spirit.